Welcome to Obstacle Running Adventures.
Over the last 7 years, we have consistently released weekly episodes focusing on
obstacle course racing, running, and other adventures.
You'll hear interviews, event recaps, conversations about our sport,
quick news updates about happenings in our community.
And now, here are your hosts,
Standing on the corner,
Michael Stefano and Caitlin Runur.
Hey guys, it's Michael Stefano.
And Caitlin Ritter. And Michael, how was your weekend?
It was fun. I had a video game night, which I used to do with my close friends. I haven't done one in like about a year. I feel like it's been a very long... We had a VR one, but it wasn't the same because I wasn't allowing people to drink and do VR. We got pretty drunk. We went to a gay bar. That was a fun time to see one of our friends perform. And then we all did some karaoke, went back. And then the girls had taken over because I wasn't clear that we were coming back.
I had no idea that you were coming back. All of a sudden, you showed up and we were all on the couch, like snuggled watching TV.
And I was super drunk, which is not the usual case. But it was a pretty fun night. Recovering from it today, though, that's for sure. Let's give a shout out to our sponsors.
Shout out Mudgear. Use code ADVENTURE for 15% off your next Mudgear purchase. And Caterpy. Use code OCRReport20 for 20% off your next Caterpy purchase.
Perfect. It's the first episode of the month, so we're going to shout out the $3+ Patreon supporters.
Jason Dupree, Samantha Thompson, Matt Putton, Dave Claxton, Bradley Keel, Charlotte Engelman, Aaron Grindstaff, Laura and Stephen Ritter, Hank and Arlene Stefano, Kenny West.
Cheryl Miller changed her name to 10 Junk Stripper Poles. Very confused. I'll have to ask her about that.
Jessica Johnson, Anna Wesner, Nick Riker, Christopher Hoover, Kevin Gregory, Evan Irick, Ashley Reese, Brent George, Justin Manning, Wendell Lagash, Logan Nagel, Angela Bowers, Asa Connington, Thomas Peterson, and Seth Rinderknish.
Yes, thank you guys so much for the support. We greatly appreciate it. And to the OCR Report for being a great home for us on the internet.
And to Will Hicks,
the Podfather. Check it out over at theocrreport.com. They work on making some more adjustments to the live stream and podium posts moving forward. I might have had the same note last time too, but that's still what they're working on. Let's give a shout out to our sponsored athletes.
Javier Escobar, Kelly Sullivan, Ryan Brizzalara, and Joshua Reed.
All right, and now for poll results. I didn't think that I had something, but I'm going to double check real quick. This was from last time, which we forgot about. But I posted, we are planning our 2024 events. So how many races do you plan to do this year?
0% of people said none. 29% of people said between 1 and 4. 36% of people said between 5 and 9. And 36% of people said 10 plus.
Yeah. All right, let's get to Meme of the Week. I found it earlier today, so Caitlin has to describe it.
It is 2 people.
From Star Trek, and they're wearing maroon, and there's a bald man and a guy with dark hair and a beard, and one of them is talking and said, I bought shoes from a drug dealer once, and then in the next panel, the guy with the dark hair has his face covering his hand covering his face, and he said, I'm not sure what he laced them with, but I was tripping all day. Which is pretty fantastic. Also, another plug for Caterpy. That was not planned, but pretty funny. We're going to get to some quick news, starting with some unfortunate news regarding Ryan Kent.
Ryan Kent posted, the past 2 days has been really hard for me and my family. I seriously thought my dad would live forever. Even when his illness just kept getting worse, he was Superman to me. His battle with dementia ended yesterday, but I'm so happy I got to spend time with him in his final days. I'm sure going to miss him, and there is no way to explain the emptiness I feel with him not here anymore. My dad is the reason I'm an athlete and still a huge inspiration of why I continue the pursuit. It was a very important part of our relationship, and it is where we connected the most. I would call him up before every race, and he would always tell me to hammer down. I would say, Dad, it's drop the hammer, not hammer down. I would laugh and correct him, but clearly he preferred hammer down. Love to you, Dad.
Yeah. So our sympathies go to him. I know he spoke very highly about his dad frequently. That's the reason why he got into running, as you said. And yeah. In other news, Travis Kelce and Kodiak Cakes team up to donate 25,000 meals to Kansas City youth. So again, as always, links down below for the full news stories.
Go Taylor Swift's boyfriend.
In pretty pathetic news, Caitlin, what's wrong with this shirt?
Oh, Spartan made their t-shirts, but they were printed backwards.
Yeah, so all of the people that got their season pass, that super expensive thing that they bought, every single one of them had them printed backwards. And I saw some interesting reactions to this. I think it was Scott the Fane Knowles who posted, all right, I made the shirt work, and he wrote like a roo on it with a Sharpie backwards.
That's hilarious. As somebody who owns a Cricut and has done that before, you still have to check every single time.
Yeah, it just seems to be another example of fire ready aim.
Or aim fire ready.
Whatever it is, it's wrong. It's not working. Wanted to give a shout out to a guest who was actually just on the show last weekend, Corey Waltering.
He said, in 2024, I've decided to take more time to focus on things I'm passionate about, and one of those things is coaching. I love being able to help people reach their full potential and go after their goals. No goal is too big or too small. If you're interested in working with me, leave a comment, shoot me a DM, reply to the poll in my story, or reach out to Chasky Endurance Collective, and we can get the ball rolling.
Yeah,
Let's go.
And he is a fantastic ultra athlete. You may have heard the awesome things that he plans to do this year in last episode, but he's also super down to earth, and appreciate that too. Very cool.
OCRWC posted on Instagram, if you are a past racer of the OCRWC, check your emails today. Past racers are eligible for a free entry in the 100-meter or 3K distance for the 10th anniversary race. To claim your free entry, email help@ocrwc.com by February 15th.
Yeah, so this gives you about 10 days to do that. Highly recommend you. That's pretty great if you're going to be interested in the California venue, because of course they still haven't announced that, which is a bummer. But if you think you know where it is, it's going to be somewhere in California, which unfortunately is such a big state. But if you plan to go, this seems like a no-brainer.
They also released a $25,000 cash prize purse.
Oh, very nice. There's 5 secret links down below, so go and check those out. But let's get to what this episode's all about.
What's it all about, Mike?
Well, we return to the Boston Run Show. Again, this is part 2 and covers everyone that we talked to on Sunday. So last week was all of the Saturday interviews. This is all the Sunday interviews. The vendors and speakers who we interviewed were Trail Animals Running Club, Souls for Souls, Caterpy Laces, Vinco Eyewear, Tedy's Team, Sugarloaf Mountain, American Cancer Society, Organization for Autism Research, Kelly Roberts, Marathon Printing, American Lung Association, Runur, None to Run, Active Odysseys, Outsider Endurance, Cardinal Cures, Row House, USWE, Ashworth Awards, Wahoo Fitness, GOFLUO, Greater Lowell Roadrunners, Scimitar Sportswear, Barn to Run, Max Performance, Doug Flutie Foundation, Clarence DeMar Marathon, Ruck for Hit, Danny Dreyer, Bad Boy Running, and John Kelly. So there's more than 30 interviews there. I split them into 4 different sections, so if you're looking for a particular interview, you can get to it easier. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. We enjoyed last weekend, and let's get to those interviews. All right, so we'll just start off with your name and where you're from.
Hi, my name is Patrick Karen. I'm from Needham, Massachusetts, and representing Trail Animals Running Club.
Tell us all about it.
So TARC's been around since 1994. We're one of the oldest trail running clubs in New England, and we direct 11 races throughout the year from 5K to 30 hours, and mainly covering the greater Boston area. All of our races are within an hour or so of Boston. And yeah, we also do group runs every month in Blue Hills Reservation and Great Brook Farm State Park. And we're really about just introducing more people to the sport of trail running. We make all of our races low cost, easy, and accessible, and all of the event proceeds go back to the land that we run on.
That's great. So we went to college very close to Blue Hills, so we frequently ran there a lot. Tell me about this 30-hour event. That's something that sounds interesting.
Yeah, so the Tarctic Frozen Yeti is actually next weekend, so in February. And it has a 15-mile option and a 30-hour option, and you just run as far as you can in 30 hours. So it's a 15-mile loop, and there's a lodge that you reach every loop and can warm up in. If last year was the coldest day of the year that the race was held on, It was, definitely under 0 degrees. It was brutal, but it's just 30 hours I think can sound pretty intimidating, but it's actually a very accessible format in that there's no set distance that you are expected to run. So you can run, 15 miles, you can sleep for 6 hours and come back and run 15 more. And we allow pacers and crew and just a really fun format.
That's an event that I would definitely be interested in. How's the elevation for that one too? Because that could definitely add up.
Yeah, the elevation's not crazy, but it is a fairly technical trail. It's at Hale Reservation in Westwood, Massachusetts. The trickier part is just the conditions of the day. So a couple years ago, we had a few feet of snow. Last year, freezing cold. So there's always some level of elements that are going to greet you in February that make it challenging.
Yeah, especially here in New England. What's your favorite event that you guys put on?
I don't know if I have a favorite. Pretty sure I've run all of them. I direct the Tark Stonecat Trail Festival, which is in November, as well as the Tark Fall Classic, which is in September. So I definitely, maybe have some bias towards those. But yeah, I like that there's sort of every race is a little different. So we've got a run race on the Skyline Trail at Blue Hills. So that one's really technical and challenging, but it's also short and fast. It's a 12K, whereas a lot of our races are ultras. So yeah, I like that our calendar sort of evolves and mixes it up throughout the year.
Yeah, definitely. It's good to be more aware of you guys too, because I'm trying to get back into ultras and all that. It's my favorite distance. Awesome. Day 2 of the expo. How's the expo treating you guys?
It's been great. Yeah. So this is our first year attending, really just trying to introduce more people to trail running. We had a great panel yesterday morning about talking about the power of community, since we're all about that. And yeah, we've got some little mini workshops throughout the day for people to learn more about trail running. But really cool event.
Yeah. And where can people find out more about you guys online?
Trailanimals.com, and we're on pretty much all the socials at Trail Animals Running Club.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
My name is Emily Whitcomb. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee.
And what are you here representing?
I'm here representing Souls for Souls. We are a global nonprofit headquartered in Nashville, Tennessee, and essentially we turn unwanted shoes and clothing into opportunity. So we provide relief, we create jobs, and we empower people to break out of the cycle of poverty through our 4 Opportunity program. So lots of different facets to Souls for Souls, but we're here today kind of promoting the Race for Every Kid and our For Every Kid program, which is essentially we have the goal to equip all 1.5 million children in the U.S. experiencing homelessness with a brand new pair of athletic shoes. So we're so happy to be here in Boston, and yeah.
How long have you been with them?
I've been at Souls for Souls for a little bit over a year, so I'm newer to the company.
Yeah. And what is it that you enjoy about it?
I enjoy working with, like-minded people who just want to do good in the world. You can see all of my coworkers from the top down are just so passionate about what we do. And it makes working on weekends fun. It makes traveling fun and working just fun and enjoyable.
And you got a big-ass pile of shoes behind you. How are you feeling that the expo is treating you guys so far?
So far, so good. Yeah, we have a lot of shoes. Everyone has really shown up to, donate their gently used shoes. And I'm looking forward to counting these up and, providing some impact data. And yeah, we're loving it so far.
Where can people find out more about you guys online?
You can find us at www.soulsforSouls.org.
You want to spell that just to clarify?
SOLES, the number 4, SOULS.org.
Perfect. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
My name is Anthony Pong. I'm from Orlando, Florida.
And what are you representing here at the expo?
I represent Caterpy. We're an elastics company from Japan, and we specialize in shoelaces.
So tell us all about it as if we don't talk about it on the show every week.
All right. So Caterpy, we specialize in laces. They're in special no-tie shoelace. What you do is thread them in like normal. They have elastic bumps that get stuck in eyelet holes to hold tension throughout the whole shoe. What's really unique about them is the ability to control tension in every row separately, so you can go certain areas tighter or looser depending on your foot shape or your foot comfort. Our whole goal is to avoid tying shoes. For a couple of reasons. Nobody likes tying shoes in the first spot. Secondly, tying laces are a single source of failure. If a knot comes undone, your whole shoe comes undone, so you're really trying to avoid that single source of failure. But most important, our knots become a choke point on your feet when they start to swell. Knots are always tightest where you tie them, and when feet start to swell, it blocks all the blood going into the foot. So our goal is to avoid the single hotspot caused from tying knots, but instead spread it out more uniformly throughout the whole shoe.
Absolutely. Now, I was super excited to see that you guys were back again this year because I bought a new pair of shoes. I'm not going to say the brand, but the shoelaces sucked. the shoes are great, but the shoelaces would constantly become untied. I'd have to double knot them, and then when I get back from a long run, the last thing I want to do is undo a double knot. And so with these now, it relieves all of those issues.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, shoes are more than half of the equation, of course, but laces are literally the binding system of the shoe. Without good laces, you don't get the full effect or the full benefits of the shoe structure that you spent, $200 for.
With this elastic technology, there's other things you can do with it. Talk about the hair ties that seem to be getting bigger into.
Yeah, absolutely. So with the leftover material from shoelaces, we started making hair ties instead of just throwing away to be more resourceful. The hair ties are elastic. They have bumpy shapes on them as well. They're not supposed to kink the hair and rip out the hair as much, although I personally couldn't vouch for them. I do get great feedback from them. They come in multiple different colors, and they're really fun to see.
Lots of fun patterns and everything too. The one that really caught our eye was the sparkly silver and gold, like fuzzy material.
Yeah, so we're starting to experiment with different materials. So some reflective materials, some sparkly materials. This year is 2024 with the Paris Olympics, so we have a special gold, silver, bronze pack for these upcoming medals and upcoming Olympics.
That's great. We talked about some other applications that you could potentially use as far. I think you mentioned like sports bras. Are there any other things that you have your eyes set on in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. So ultimately, we're an elastics company, not a shoelace company. So some of the ideas we have would be rock climbing rope. You could catch people's fall. Boating lines would hold the boat to the dock a little bit nicer. Dog leashes, sports bras where you integrate it into apparel. So the world is kind of our oyster in terms of elastic string, but everything starts with shoelaces.
It's day 2 of the expo. How's the expo treating you guys this year?
Expo's doing great so far. Day 2 I think is always a little bit slower and smaller, but we're doing the best we can here.
And where can people find out more about Caterpy online?
Oh, definitely check us out online. We have Caterpy.com, which is your international website, and Caterpy.us is the US website. You can also find them on Amazon or different local running stores.
Perfect. Thanks, Anthony.
Hey, thank you guys.
Ian Hamilton from San Jose, California.
And what are you here representing today?
Vinco Performance.
Tell us all about it.
We're the world's first renewable performance eyewear.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
Next thing you're going to do is ask me what's renewable.
Yes, yeah.
So we have two things. We have renewable construction. In other words, if you've ever had a product, an eyewear product that breaks and you would like to get it fixed and you find out that you can't, we've addressed that problem. And the other thing is we've developed a paper-based or a wood-based bioresin, and so we don't make our products out of plastic. So it is truly renewable. Yeah. We feel really good about that. We think the world should have more products like this.
Absolutely. And tell us about like the different colors that you have too. You got a pretty good variety.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, we try to keep it really simple. We have large and small sizing, and then we have black or white, and then we do signature edition colorways for athletes that represent our brand.
Perfect. What are some athletes that represent the brand?
Naomi Vandenbroek is an Olympic sprinter. And we've got a whole bunch of people. We're more of a West Coast brand, so I would encourage you to check out our website and check out some of our athletes.
Where can people? What is the website? Where can people find out more?
VincoPerformance.com.
And how long have you been around?
We were incorporated in 2021, but we've only been selling since 2023.
Okay.
So yeah, we're a fairly new brand.
And how's the expo treating you guys on day 2?
Expo's pretty good. Yesterday was very busy.
Yes.
And today we're looking forward to some of the speakers and some of the more traffic that's coming through.
Well, good luck, and thanks for taking the time to talk to me.
No problem. Thanks.
Trisha Calloway, Andover, Mass.
Elizabeth Terrell, Attleboro, Mass.
And what are you guys here representing?
Tedy's team?
So tell us all about it.
Yeah, so I work for Tedy's team. Tedy's team is a nonprofit organization in Massachusetts that raises awareness and money for stroke and heart disease. We were founded in 2005 by Tedy Bruschi, who is a retired New England Patriot, and his wife Heidi. And Tedy had a stroke in 2005 when he returned from his 3rd Super Bowl and his first Pro Bowl. And so that is why Tedy's team started, because unfortunately Tedy and his wife did not know the warning signs of stroke, and they did not know Tedy was having a stroke. So it was really important that they use their knowledge to help other people. So we're 19 years strong. We've been our own 501c3 since 2018. We were originally part of another organization. And so we have been able to do such great things. We've started our Comeback Assistance Program, which is a financial assistance program that helps survivors of stroke and heart disease. And we've also partnered with MGH's IHP and created the Tedy's Team Center of Excellence in Stroke Recovery as well, providing free care for stroke survivors, which is amazing. And we have so much more to come as well. And right next to me is Trisha. Trisha has been running with our organization for quite a few years now. She is a stroke survivor, and I think it would be great for you to hear a little bit about her.
Yeah. Do you mind telling us a little bit about your story?
Yeah, sure. So in 2019, I had a stroke and came out of nowhere. My husband knew the warning signs, so he got me to the hospital right away. I'm okay. And soon after, I found Tedy's team, and I've been involved, and it's so rewarding to be a part of educating and helping people that aren't as lucky as I am have a chance.
Do you ever think about like what could have happened if your husband wasn't aware of the signs?
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day. So I'm super grateful. Yeah. So I get up and I run, and I think about that every day. What would have happened? A lot of things could have gone left.
Yeah.
Luckily, they went right.
And then what were the symptoms that you were dealing with?
So it started with a severe headache. I was at the gym, severe headache, and then I lost vision in my left eye. And then very soon after that, it took about 20 minutes. I lost any mobility and feeling on my left side. I couldn't walk. I couldn't talk. I couldn't see. I lost consciousness. And several hours later, I found out what happened.
Yeah. Sounds like a nightmare, but at least a nightmare that you were able to put a name towards and be able to get that help.
A name towards, great care. I'm just the luckiest person on the planet.
So how does it feel to pay it forward and to try to help other people?
It's the most rewarding thing. I always say Tedy's team gave, like, when I first got involved, it was, I thought it was for me. Like, oh, I'm going to get back on my feet. This is going to help me trust my body again. And it's so much more about, it's so rewarding to be paying it forward and giving back. And it's given me so much more than I've given it. It's the best.
And Trisha is one of 12 survivors that are currently on our 2024 Boston Marathon team. And so it's amazing to be able to, like Trisha said, a lot of survivors will want to be able to trust their body again and know that they have control over their body again. And for us to be able to help them in that journey is just amazing.
Yeah. So what are your favorite events that you have coming up?
The Boston Marathon.
Gonna be your first time? Or?
Second time.
Okay.
Yeah, I ran with Tedy's team in 2022. Took a little breather, and back for more.
And you also did the New York City Marathon.
And I did the New York City Marathon, and got another one in the fall coming up for Tedy's team.
Right.
I'm doing Chicago.
So with 3, are you thinking about doing the remaining big majors? Or?
Probably.
Yeah,
Probably.
That's how it works.
Yep, that's how it works. Yeah.
I also wanted to thank you. Like, we haven't had any issues with strokes in our family, but like we still have our magnet on the fridge too. It's like a helpful reminder of like, hey, be aware of this stuff. Right?
We love it because honestly, we have had these magnets for years. And one of the things we get all the time when we're out and about in public, or Tedy was actually running the marathon and someone stopped him and said, I just need you to understand that because of you, because of your magnets, or because of your runners having them on the back of their singlets, I recognize the warning signs. I saved my mother, my sister, my uncle, my cousin. We have heard so many of those stories. Obviously, those stories are unfortunate, but we are so glad that those people knew the signs and were able to get their loved one the attention they needed in such a speedy response. That to us is super important. That's also why we're here today, is to educate every single person so they know the warning signs, because if we can save one life for being here for this weekend, it's all worth it for us.
And timing is everything. So if you know the signs, you can get help because it's timing. Yeah.
And then final thoughts on helping out with Tedy's team.
It has been the most gratifying, rewarding experience. Yeah. I think we say our mission is our passion. Yeah. That's it.
And where can people find out more information about Tedy's team?
Teddy'sTeam.org. That's Tedy with 1D. Right. TEAM.org.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Brenna Harridge. I'm from Sugarloaf Mountain Resort in Carrabassett Valley, Maine.
So tell us about the mountain in case people haven't heard it.
Sure. We are located about 4 hours north of Boston in the northwestern corner of Maine. Yep. And we have a marathon, which is every year Mother's Day weekend in May. Okay. It's a Boston Marathon qualifier. It's a PR course. It has a net loss of elevation, so it's good. To hear that, yeah. Yep. And then this year is our second year hosting the Xterra Trail Run World Championship. Yeah. So we've got that, and that's a full marathon and a half marathon. Okay. And then we have some other, 5K, 10K races that weekend as well. So we're here just trying to get people excited about coming up to the races.
Well, I can tell you right now that I talked to some vendors and they're excited. They're like, have you talked to Xterra yet? Like, it's really cool to have them here. Like, how does it feel to be able to host such a big event?
It was really amazing. I honestly, when I put the bid in, never thought that they would choose Sugarloaf, Maine. Mm-hmm. There's probably a lot of other great mountains that they were looking at. Yeah. And they've been amazing to work with. Yeah. Really great partners. So we'll miss them when they move on after this year, but they've been a great organization to work with.
Yeah. I can only imagine, do you go to the event, spectate, and how does it feel to see these amazing people?
Well, I go and I actually am a race director, so I'm working.
Okay, fair. So fully get to enjoy it, I guess. But
exactly.
Do you get as a race director, like do you get a lot of like good positive feedback?
Yeah, we had great feedback. Everything can be improved upon. So we each sent out separate surveys, and we've got similar results. So that's great. Yeah. So we're going to just work on and dialing that stuff in this year to make everybody's experience even better.
And in addition to running too, skiing also?
We ski. Yeah. So we're skiing, and then we're also a mountain bike destination. So we are in the process of putting in a downhill mountain bike park. Okay. But we have about 100 kilometers of cross-country trails, and those are also, you can run on them. So we've got a lot of trail runners up there on those tracks as well.
Nice. And how are you enjoying your time at the expo so far?
So far, so good. It's been good. Yeah.
Where can people find out more about Sugarloaf Mountain?
Sugarloaf.com or exteraplanet.com.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
My name is Ellie Gamache. I am from Dartmouth, Massachusetts, and I work for the American Cancer Society.
So tell us all about it.
Yeah, so Determination is the endurance fundraising arm of the American Cancer Society. We have athletes of all levels who make their miles more meaningful by participating in one of our 70-plus events, nationally or internationally. We have running races, cycling events, hikes, triathlons, walks. So we really try to cater to our athlete and raise funds for the American Cancer Society while doing so.
Are you a runner or biker or anything too?
I am a runner, so I'm a participant for Team Determination, and I work for them. So really best both worlds, yeah.
So a lot of events. What are some of your favorites that stick out to you?
I have participated with Team Determination at the New York City Marathon, and we have a ginormous team. We have like 250 runners there. It is a full weekend event, and it is truly the best time ever. Our Chicago Marathon is also incredible. We have 900 runners there, and another just amazing weekend and very inspiring, hearing a lot of messages. But we have some really amazing cycling events too that are really fun. Yeah.
How long have you been with them?
I've been here almost 2 years now. Yeah.
What keeps you staying with them? What is it that you enjoy or find fulfilling?
Yeah, I've lost a few family members to cancer, so have had friends that have been diagnosed and have survived. So I just always, keep them in the back of my mind, and the relationships that I build with our participants truly just keeps me going. And as somebody who is a runner and passionate about the fitness industry and making a difference while doing so, keeps me here. I love it. Yeah.
And how are you enjoying your time at the expo? You have a pretty good position where you can see some of the speakers at the road running.
Yeah, we love it. We were over near the trail running stage last year, so coming to road running side is really fun. But we are having a great time. We're seeing so many people and telling people about our message and what we do here. So it's really great weekend. Yeah.
Where can people find out more about your races and you guys as a society?
Yeah, so anybody can go to cancer.org/determination. You can find a full listing of every one of our 70-plus events there and learn a bit more what we do at the Cancer Society as well.
Thanks for taking the time to talk to me.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Cora Bentley, and we're the Organization for Autism Research from Northern Virginia.
Tell us all about it.
So, Organization for Autism Research is a nonprofit devoted to bettering the lives of people with autism through applied research. And we are the Run for Autism team, which is our endurance fundraising initiative. So we partner with charities, and all the money our runners make goes directly back to our nonprofit to fund autism research.
You had me at Applied because I'm an applied behavioral analyst. Oh. So this you're speaking to my heart here.
Yeah.
How long have you been with them?
I've been with the company a year and a half.
What is it that you love so much about working with them?
You know what? I have a little brother on the spectrum, so it's very personal to me. Yeah. And then I'm also a runner, so I feel like I get to connect with all the runners on the team in more than one way. And of course, I love traveling to events too. Yeah. So
that was going to be my next question. Speaking of being a runner, what are some of your favorite events that you've done?
I think Chicago has to be up there. The Chicago Marathon. Yeah. It's such a treat. It's so much fun. New York is hard to beat as well. And then we're very excited. We're traveling to London this year for the London Marathon. So we're very excited for that. Yes.
Tell us about the sweet medals that you have over there too. How do people go about earning those?
Yes, so we have custom medals that we give our runners. Once they fundraise for us, after the race, we'll send them a medal saying thank you for being on the team. We have our General Ore medal, which is that teal one. Okay. And then we have 3 medals that are distinct for our bigger races. So we have our biggest teams are Marine Corps, New York, and Chicago. Oh, okay. So if you run those events, you get a special medal for those events.
Marine Corps, I've heard really good things about that being like a good beginner marathon too.
Yeah, a relatively flat course. usually the weather's good. It's DC, so it's a little finicky, but yeah, good Boston qualifier for sure.
How are you enjoying your time at the expo?
It's fantastic. Yeah, this is our second year here. It's so great to see all the different vendors and connect with the other charities that are here.
Yeah.
So we're having a great time.
Where can people find out more information about you guys?
So our website is researchautism.org, and you can check out all the events we're a part of and see more about the research we're doing there.
Thank you so much for doing what you're doing.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so we'll just start off with your name and where you're from.
I'm Kelly Roberts, and I live in Brooklyn.
And what is your position? What are you doing this year?
I'm hosting the road stage.
How's that been going?
It's been really fun.
So last year you said you were a little nervous about your talk. How does it feel? Yeah. You feel more comfortable being the host, doing the fireside chats and everything?
I wish I would have done this last year. I just get to clown around and talk to people. Last year I tried to give like a TED Talk, and I don't know what I was thinking. I should have just clowned around.
So I remember you talked about the TED Talk about like things that need to change in the industry.
Yeah.
You wrote the talk in like 2021 or like years before the event actually happened.
Yeah.
And you said it fucking sucked that nothing changed and that the talk was still applicable. Would your talk still be applicable today?
Yeah. I have been trying to raise awareness for fat phobia and running. And I definitely think more people are talking about it. I think with the rise of TikTok and Reels on Instagram, it's so much easier for people to share stories in a way that's actually digestible.
Right.
Like, it's hard to tell a story in a photo. So I think a lot more people are talking about it, and no, things are changing. I just saw that Shape launched like a 4-week, I don't know if it was Shape, it was one of those women's health magazines. They launched like a 4-week body image resilience course that was free, and I was like, well, hot damn.
Yeah.
This is great. So I mean, in the running world specifically, I don't think anything has changed, but I think it's like moving a freight ship. I don't think anything's going to change quickly.
Right.
We got to get the ship out of the Panama Canal, you know?
Definitely a little stuck
Lodged
a little bit.
in there.
It is. And talk about your Instagram. Like, how has it been like creating the Badass Lady Gang? How is it like maintaining that and having such a great community of strong women?
Equally wonderful and exhausting.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been doing this. 2013 is when I went viral and really started becoming like a social media person for my job.
Yeah.
So it's been 11 years now, which is, I feel like I've aged 40 years.
Yeah.
I don't know, like 11 years of men online fat shaming me does a lot. Like, even when you don't care about the comments and you just see people saying like the worst things, that
there's people that are mean, and then there's people that are just straight up just cruel and just
uneducated.
Yes, information that just is not factual. Like, everyone's a doctor on Instagram, apparently.
That's the hardest thing, is now like seeing how diet culture has personified with, I mean, blessing and a curse with Reels and TikTok is so many more people can share their story, but now also like
so many people can share that.
yeah, like diet culture is commodifying some of the verbiage with like body image resilience or some of the steps forward we've taken with like that movement. So, I mean, I get it. I think it's always going to be a fight. I don't think diet culture is going anywhere anytime soon, nor is fat phobia.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I really just try to focus on the community we've built, and that is the only reason I keep going, because it is so much more fun than it is defeating, but it definitely is.
Has days where I might break even a little bit.
Oh, a lot more. A lot more. Definitely not even break even. Or days where I walk away like giggling because people are so funny. And like, we have so many great creators. We have Martinez Evans. We have people out there who just like bring, every time I open it and I open the app and I see their stuff, I'm like, oh, thank God, thank God, thank God, thank God.
Yeah. And it's one of those things too. It's like, I think you do a pretty good job of responding to criticism, but at the same time, like, responding to it gives attention to it. How do you find that balance?
Depends how catty I'm feeling, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some days where I cannot help but clap back. I try not to clap back because clapping back really is a ploy to get likes and comments every single time. I know that video will perform well, and I don't like to rely on that at all. Like, I feel disingenuous doing it because I know I'm being disingenuous doing it. I'm not doing it to raise awareness. I'm doing it because I know it will like, it's like the Trump thing to do, is to like fan the fire, which is not great.
No, it isn't. That's for sure.
Self-awareness.
Yes, absolutely.
That's a good way to put it, though.
Absolutely. And then going back to your role, who are some of the people that you've had the chance to talk to? We missed you yesterday, but...
Oh my God, yesterday, Hella Sidibe was so much fun. Okay. That was such a fun talk. I left on a high. We did a talk on women's masters running and menopause, which was really fun. There was a Paralympic panel that's happening again today in sport and how to make it more accessible, which was really, really interesting. And then right now we just finished with Michael Johnson, who is a GD legend and truly a media-trained darling. So everything he said was so fabulous and wonderful, and he was just so much fun to listen to. Yeah. 45 minutes was like, pew!
That's the best thing that you could possibly have with like a round table.
Oh my God, it was so much fun.
Yeah. Did you get starstruck at all, or do you realize like these are just people?
I don't follow track and field.
I don't either. That's fair.
So I have no idea who these people are. That is the worst thing to admit in the whole entire world. And don't come for me. No, yeah. I was a theater girly. Yeah. I run, but I don't follow much of the sport.
That's how
We're with you, everyone.
With obstacle course racing. Like, I'll just talk to these... I'll like DM people and have casual conversations with them, and Mike will be like, "Oh my God, Caitlin, like you just casually talk to this person." I'm like, "I do."
Yeah, like, talk to like one of the best women in the world in obstacle course racing about like baking, and that's a cool thing. Like they are just regular people.
And so. I'm like, I like to do it too.
Yeah. I also participate in the running.
Michael in this was talking about. We were talking about his first time he ever qualified for the Olympics. He got food poisoning and couldn't compete, and was talking about like his comeback and what it's like what drove him, and he was like. He was doing the 4x400, which he doesn't always do. And he was like, everyone knows that feeling when you might get passed or you might lose and how terrible that feels. And I was like, Michael, that is my existence. That is literally every day. Don't know what it feels like to win.
Yeah.
Michael, no.
And
I feel that so deeply. My goal is always just not come in last place.
Yes, yeah.
But he was so funny about he was just so much fun to volley off of, and he gets it now. Like he's a jog. He jogs now. Yeah. He was just so funny. Yeah. Definitely self-aware. He does not live in this world where he doesn't understand what the everyday runner is like. So that was really fun to talk to him.
And then overall, how's your time at the expo going? Have you had the chance to walk around the vendors, or are you just kind of chained to the booth up here?
I'm chained to my stage, which is fine. But I wish I could go get some free goodies. Yeah. It's so much bigger this year, too, which is so fun. I really hope this catches on. This is, incredible.
Yeah. Have you had the chance to go to the Girls on the Run booth?
No.
Oh,
you would love them.
I know, I do love them.
You're happy piece, because last time they were right here.
Oh, were they?
No,
I saw them. They're by the bathroom.
Yes. Yeah.
We talked.
I love Girls on the Run.
And she was just so wholesome, and she's like, yeah, I tell my girls to find their happy pace, and is it walking, is it running, is it skipping, is it dancing? I'm like, I love that.
It's not running with the purpose of losing weight. You also work with Girls on the Run too. It's running to move, to feel good while moving.
Friends, to be with your friends, and it's totally levels the playing field. I mean, I feel like elementary school girls, kind of towards the end, get cliquey. But for the most part, it does kind of level the playing field to remind everyone you should stay in touch with each other and stop getting pushed into these directions where you're defining yourself based on what you're interested in. So I love that they do that.
And where can people find out more about you online?
You could just Google the Badass Lady Gang and you'll find me.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and keep doing what you're doing up here.
Of course. It's so nice to talk to you guys again.
Anthony Foster, Marathon Printing, Portland, Oregon.
Tell us all about Marathon Printing.
So we've been printing bibs for 35 years, marathons, TV shows, movies, parties. But yeah, we started in a garage with a single press.
That's very cool. When did you guys first start?
1989.
Awesome. How long have you been with them?
I've been with them since 2014.
Awesome. What is it that you enjoy about working for them?
Love my customers. Yeah. The race directors, our customers are the best in the world.
Yeah. And what are some of your favorite events, the events that you're most proud to? Obviously, all of them, but what are you most proud of?
Well, we love all of our customers, obviously. I wouldn't say that I love...
Some of the more recognizable ones.
So, Houston Marathon is a great customer. Gasparilla, Grandma's Marathon, Hot Chocolate.
Grandma's, I know. Your Hot Chocolate's a big one, too?
Yeah.
That's very cool. And you have some fun-looking bibs, too. They're not always just rectangles. You have one that looks like...
Ohio.
I don't think that's... Is that Ohio?
Cincinnati.
It is? Oh, yeah. It's a pretty cool when you have like a heart
custom,
shape.
Custom shape, any shape you want. Yeah, whether it be Halloween, Christmas, your city, your state, or your cause.
You also have these awesome bottle openers that you have.
Absolutely, yeah. These are sponsored by Ashworth Awards and Marathon Printing as a little souvenir.
Yeah. We do definitely. We're sure to grab one as well.
You said that sometimes you work with movies too.
Yeah.
What movies have you worked with?
Well, we're not really allowed to tell people what we've done because you have to sign non-disclosures. But I'll give you one hint. A TV show filmed in Portland.
Okay.
About Portland.
Very cool. And how are you enjoying your time at the expo so far? You guys have a fantastic placement. I'm sure you get to look at all the speakers.
Yeah, we love it. It's a great show. It's our second time here. We hope to come back.
Yeah. And where can people find out more about you guys online?
Marathononline.com.
Perfect. Thanks for taking the time to talk to me, and good luck with the rest of your time at the expo.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, I'm Liz Savage, and I'm from the American Lung Association.
Tell us all about it.
The Fight for Air Climb is a benefit for the American Lung Association to prevent lung disease and lung cancer, and people run or walk up 41 floors of stairs, 789 steps, and it benefits the American Lung Association.
So I've been wanting to do this event for damn near close to like a decade now. How long have you guys been around doing this event?
It's been around for 18 years in Massachusetts. We are nationwide as well, and it's a great time. So come on down. We can always use volunteers too.
Do you ever run the events too, or usually just working them?
I work them. I sometimes do the other ones because I'm volunteering, because it is a really a big challenge, and I can't work and run on the same day.
That's fair. And then, in addition to registration, there's also a fundraising goal too that you have to meet. How does that work?
So our fundraising goal for this year is $250,000, and it's really peer-to-peer mostly. So throw it up on your Facebook page. You'd be surprised at how many people will come out of the woodworks to donate. Yeah. And it's really up to individuals helping out our mission.
And how are you enjoying your time at the expo so far?
It's wonderful. I've lost my voice since yesterday, if you can tell. It's been really fun. This is my first time, and I'll definitely be back.
And where can people find out more about you guys and the event online?
Go to lung.org or fightforairclimb.org/Boston.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Lucas Hathaway from Atlanta, Georgia, part of Runur Athletics.
So we had you on last year. Tell us all about the product.
Runur was started out of a need. I got in a really obnoxious, really painful shower after a run and realized that there was probably a better way to make a pair of shorts. So bought everything, couldn't find anything, and ended up finding a manufacturer, kickstarting a pair of shorts, and now we are almost 2 years in. We've done 25, 30 expos, sold thousands of pairs of shorts across the country. It's been just a whirlwind of an adventure.
Yeah. In addition to shorts, too, I think you gave us a shirt last year that had the historical, accurate representation of Paul Revere riding a unicorn, correct?
Absolutely. Paul Revere did not ride a horse. He rode a unicorn. Yes. Announcing that the British were coming.
Yes, you have to check YouTube for the actual video. But yeah, how has the journey been as a business?
Well, it's the running community is just absolutely fantastic, whether it's obstacle running, whether it's marathon running, whether it's ultra running, whether it's Ironman. I mean, just, the community is so fun. The people that we've been able to meet, the connections we've been able to make, and really the product that we've been able to get out there, we believe so passionately in it that we've coined our sweaty guarantee now, where if you love our stuff, awesome. If you hate our stuff, you can send it back to us sweaty a year from now, and we give you a full refund.
That kind of goes to show some positivity there and confidence in your product. But in addition to talking the talk, you also run the run. So tell me again about the events that you're training for this year.
I went down in the deep rabbit hole of ultra last year.
Welcome.
Thank you. I did my first 100 miler in 2021, but realized I wanted to try and run Badwater 135. So I did 300 milers last year, and then I've got about 6 or 7 ultras coming up this year. Badwater Cape Fear, Badwater Salton Sea, Badwater 135, fingers crossed. Georgia Death Race, Tralee 100K in Ireland, Connemara 100 in Ireland. It's going to be a busy year. Yeah. It's a busy year.
And what is it that attracted you so much to the ultra scene?
So running, I've said it 100 times now. Running is peace. It's just I just every day that I'm running, it's just better. And then ultra is just the best community probably in the entire world.
Yeah, it's definitely up there. And how are you enjoying your time? You said you've been going to a lot of expos. How's the expo this year treating you?
Boston Run Show has been awesome. If you weren't here this year, you've got to come back next year. It's got every major brand. It's got all the newest product. We're debuting 4 different products here this weekend. We've got every brand that you want to run with. I don't know. There's not really a way to overhype how cool this is.
Yeah, it's been a great time. And where can people find out more about you guys online?
Our company is Runur, RUNUR. And so our website is runur.run or runyour.run.
Perfect. And I was excited to hear that you were back. There was a woman in the polar plunge tank thing over there. And she's like, by the way, I'm wearing Runur. And I'm like, are they here this year? And she's like, yeah, they're over here. So good to see that you're back. And good luck with the company.
Thanks so much.
I'm Mark Kennedy from Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
And what are you here representing today?
We're here representing None to Run, which is an app for beginner runners.
So tell us all about it.
So None to Run is as I said, an app for beginner runners that's focused on either people who have never run before or people are coming back after a hiatus. And it gently brings them into running with, literally 30-second intervals of running and 2 minutes of walking. Many people have heard of Couch to 5K. None to Run, sort of a more gentle version to get people up and running.
I happen to know someone that's trying to get back into running, planning for an ultra at the very end of the year. So definitely.
I'm calling it my Couch to World's Toughest Mudder training program.
24-hour event, which is interesting. But it's good that you offer a variety of 5K to longer races.
That's right. Yeah, we go everywhere from a beginner running plan, which gets people up to 25 minutes of continuous running. When they graduate that, there's a 5K plan, a 10K plan, half marathons. So, and then we have many people who do the beginner plan and they have no goals of running a race. They just want to run for health and fitness and set a good example for their kids, and that's awesome too.
Absolutely, just get moving again. It's good to lower the barrier as much as you can too, because walking is okay. And sometimes it's even better if you walk frequently between running.
Yeah, we have some features in our app actually that many people use, and it's surprising to me, but many people don't want to continuously run. They love run walks because it allows them to listen to their podcast, catch their breath, enjoy the scenery more, run with a buddy, and chat with them. So yeah, for many of them, that's the way. It's run walk.
Absolutely. Now, are you a runner yourself?
I am a runner, also an avid road cyclist too. So I try to balance it too. And it's funny, many people in the None to Run community sometimes will find me on Strava and they'll say, I notice you bike a lot. Do you even run? And I sometimes I have to I run too. And yeah.
It's smart to cross-train and bike more. That's something I want to get into when I can get a bike and we have a roof rack for a bike. What are some of your favorite events that you've done?
As far as running or biking or running, of course, a lot of people want to do marathons. So I did my first marathon in Dublin, Ireland about 15 years ago. I've done a couple other marathon since, but I really enjoy the half marathon distance. It's kind of a fine balance, and I've got younger kids, so it's like the time commitment for training for a half is a bit more realistic. But these days I like just more getting out in the trails and being out in nature and not worrying about my pace and running based on how I feel that day. Yeah,
that's definitely what we're all about too. How are you enjoying your time at the expo? How's the reception going?
Loving the expo. Of course, the expo is not full per se of beginner runners. There is a lot more experienced runners, which is awesome too. So a lot of them come to our table and say, that's about None to Run. Like, oh, I actually have some friends. This would be perfect for them. Right. So that's been cool. And we've also connected with some really awesome brands in either tech space or apparel. Or things doing some cool things in nutrition. So it's been a great experience.
And not for nothing, but it's a great name. Like you take a look at it and I'm like, oh, I think I have a good feel as to what you guys do. None to Run.
Yeah, some people confuse it. They think it's a bunch of nuns running. So we do get that sometimes. So
like a Santa shuffle, but you just dress up as a nun. That would be, there's definitely a market out for that too. And where can people find out more about you guys online?
Best place, just go to our website, nonetorun.com. It's nonetorun.com. Or just Google None to Run and they'll find us.
All right,
Thanks for taking the time to talk to me.
Thank you.
I'm Chris Montgomery, and I'm from Wilmington, Massachusetts, and I work for Active Odysseys.
Tell us all about Active Odysseys.
We organize trips to international marathons. So we take care of the hotels and the restaurants. We have a local guide there to show us around and tell us everywhere where we need to go, where to buy the best stuff. We organize all the transportation. We arrange for the bibs for the marathon. So even when the marathon's sold out, we still have bibs. We're going to Paris, we're going to Rome, we're going to Dublin, and in the future we're really hoping to go to Athens and to London and to Berlin in the future. So it's a really exciting time. The goal for everything is just that the runners can show up and not need to worry about where they're staying, how to get anywhere. We basically organize everything. You get to the hotel, and then from there on in, it's everything's taken care of for you.
There's a lot of stress when it comes to marathons. So anything that you can do to alleviate that, I think, is vital.
Well, that's it, because I think when a marathoner, I've done many destination marathons, and when I show up, I want to focus on enjoying my time before the race, removing the stress, and only thinking about the race itself. And so the way that we do it is say, you don't need to worry about anything apart from whatever you choose to worry about, because we've taken care of everything else. And the other part that we do is I'm a RRCA certified coach. And so with each trip that we do, there's coaching included. So in the 16 weeks leading up to the race, every 2 weeks, we have a seminar, a webinar together or a Zoom call, where we all talk about where we are in our training, what we should be thinking about, what's our nutrition at the moment, what's our hydration, how are our injuries. And as we do that, we build up the sense of community before the trip itself, because we spent all that time together on these calls together. So when we show up, we all know each other when we get there.
Yeah, I'd say community is huge too, but even just accountability.
Right. And that's it. When you know, if you choose to get on a plane and fly across an ocean to run something, then you might as well do it properly. You've taken the big step. So let's make sure you do it properly. And the fact that you know you're going to be meeting 15, 20 other people at the other end who have done that same thing, who made that same commitment, that I think is a real sense of accountability that motivates a lot of runners.
So then to talk about that, you being a runner yourself, what are some of your favorite events that you've took part in?
So I'm a little biased. I'm from Belfast in Ireland, and I love the Dublin Marathon. The Dublin Marathon, which is one of the reasons I chose to go there. Oh, is that right? Yeah. It is a beautiful course. It is, the people of Dublin are some of the nicest people you ever meet. And it's 25,000 people, so it's a big city marathon feel. And I always say this, the last thing, it's Ireland. Let's just be clear, it's Ireland. And that I think is just one of the reasons I love it. I love it most. Edinburgh Marathon in Scotland is another one that I've done. It is so you start in the city, you run down to the water, and most of the marathon is along the water. I got a beautiful day for it last year. It was sunny, it was beautiful temperature, and it was just a fantastic race. And I think that those are two of my favorites that I've done outside of the US.
Yeah, I've never had the chance to go to Dublin, but I went to Limerick when I was in college, so I admittedly don't remember as much, but I do remember the Cliffs of Galway. And just beautiful out there.
It's a beautiful part of the world, and one of the things that I offer our runners is, if you want to extend your stay after Dublin, well, we can help you with the hotels and the transport and the meals and all of the things that you will need to extend your stay afterwards, because I'm a tour operator. That's, I have contacts with all these businesses, all these suppliers who can do that. So that adds on the extra dimension that a lot of folks, when they go over to Ireland, if they're going to go that far, they want to go for more than the 4 nights that they stay with us. And that's something that we encourage and embrace.
That's great. And how's the expo treating you guys this year?
It's been great. I said on my Facebook post yesterday, I got the chance to talk about running and travel for 8 hours solid. I got to meet Bill Rogers. He took a photo here. I'm meeting Dave McGillivray, the Boston Marathon race director. And some of the clients I coach, I'm a certified coach, and a lot of the clients I coach came to see me yesterday. And a lot of my friends, my new online friends, from running groups. I finally got to meet them in person. There's just a really good vibe about it. The foot traffic has been great, and it's been a real success story, I think.
Where can people find out more about you guys online?
Okay, so we are activeodysseys.com is our website. Our socials are, we are Active Odysseys on Facebook and active_Odysseys on Instagram. So if you follow us, I'll post a lot of things about our destinations, it's all about running, it's all about travel. I always say you won't see any cat videos in what we're doing. I'm sure cat videos are great, but you won't see any online. And that's where I talk a lot about some of the places that we're going to go and why we're going there and anything that's going on in the running world.
Well, I think it's pretty awesome what you're doing. Thanks for taking the time to talk to me, and good luck with your further expansion of different places.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Jeff Smith. I live in Mashpee.
And who are you here representing today?
So I'm the race director for Outsider Endurance. It's an award-winning triathlon series in Freetown, Lakeville, New Bedford, and Plymouth.
Lakeville and Plymouth, so close to us. So I'm in the market for a bike, so I'm trying to get into these events. How many events do you guys put on again?
So we put on 4 events. They all have different distances. We have a 5th event coming this year as well. The Patriot Half, Cranberry Tri-Fest, Whaling City Try and Do, and the Pilgrim Man Triathlon.
I'm sure it's tough picking your own. It's like picking your favorite child, but what would you say your favorite event is that you guys put on?
So the Patriot is a very storied event in New England. It's been going on for 19 years, so that's obviously one of the favorites. But my personal favorite is the Pilgrim Man. I just like the challenges of the course. It's a lot of hills. It's a closed course for most part, so the weather plays a big role in it as well. So it's additional challenges on top of just being a triathlon.
Now, is it, potentially stupid question, is it like open water swimming? What's like the situation for the swim? I feel like that's the biggest barrier for a lot of people.
It's definitely the biggest barrier. It's what I've heard all week or all weekend is I can't swim. But so we have 3 lake swims and 1 ocean swim.
Yeah, because it's one of those things, like I've always loved swimming, but I can't conceptualize distance to swimming. But that's something that'd be really interesting too. How long have you guys been around? You said the Patriot Half has been around for a long time.
Yeah, so we bought these races last year, exactly a year ago, yesterday, the 27th. The races have been around for 19 years, 24 years, 14 years, and Pilgrim Man is going into its 10th year now.
How long have you, what's your history of being a race director?
So my 2 years, this is my 2nd year being a race director. I've been racing them. I was in marketing before that and came across the opportunity to become the race director and had to jump all over it.
Something that a lot of our listeners are really fond of, myself included, sweet medals. I have to say these medals are pretty awesome too. I'd definitely be interested in earning some of them.
These are last year's race medals that we put out. Our Patriot, we're planning to go a little bit bigger this year, and our Patriot medal has got a nice little surprise that I don't think I've ever seen anybody's medal actually have before. So I'm excited to release those in a couple weeks.
How are you enjoying your time at the expo?
It's good. It's been a lot of fun. I've got to talk to a ton of people. The biggest goal was to grow the sport this year, and so part of that is, working with our fitness coaches, BPC, and so they're putting on swim clinics. And after talking to hundreds of people here this weekend, the main objection was I can't swim, but it's really, we're talking in our shorter races, 400 yards. It's not that big of a deal. I know it's easy to say for somebody who knows they can swim, but you can do it. There are plenty of resources out there. There's a ton of tri clubs, and we give training plans for our races as well. So you literally can do it. There's no way to not do it. Like your shirt says, the only obstacle to not doing a tri is your own self.
And also, the swim is first too. Like, it's not like you're going to be running and biking all this distance and then swimming afterward. I can see there being more difficulty there too.
Yeah, for sure. So you get in the water at almost a resting heart rate. You're elevated a little bit from anxiety and stress, but when you get into the water, the first 50 to 100 yards of that swim are the hard part, and then you settle in once your breathing and heart rate catch up to each other. So, but it's all stuff that can be taught and explained to you through the endless resources that we've developing for new athletes.
Where can people find out more about you guys online?
OutsiderEndurance.com or on Instagram at OutsiderEndurance.
Looking forward to hopefully checking out some of your events in the future. And good luck with the additional 5th event.
Thanks, buddy. It was nice talking with you.
Reed Fisher from New Braunfels, Texas.
And what are you here representing?
Cardinal cures for plantar fasciitis resolution.
Okay, so tell us start off with plantar fasciitis. I've heard a lot about it, but I don't know too much about it.
Sure. So you've got a tissue on the bottom of your foot that largely is non-contractile, so it's kind of a ligament of sorts. So you say the word fascia, but it's not. It's just like a thick banding that goes from heel to your foot, to the forefoot. So your problem is it's got to function in two ways. When you step down, it's got to absorb a lot of your body weight as you receive it, so there's a little bit of give. And when you step off, your heel lifts, it's got to become completely rigid, so you've got a lever to push off of. So there's a lot of transition that this one tissue takes. And if you look at all our body weights and the fact that we run, and so there's so many forces that go through it, that if you overload it, you get microtrauma like we do in anything else, except those microtraumas don't get the chance to relax because walking continues to tear into it. So there's a lot of things that we've got on the market that seek to resolve the pain, the problems. First steps in the morning are like knives in your feet, and just super pain.
I've heard it's very painful,
And just lingers. Months into years because it just doesn't go away because we don't ever unload it. So we've come up with a solution that directly unloads it. So we're protecting that plantar fascia by respecting its job, which is kind of that a little bit of elasticity into rigidity. So the right kind of tape attached in the right kinds of places, and the pain's gone. We can put this on, it unloads it, which means we're not tearing it, which means you don't have pain. And because we're keeping it unloaded, most people are healing within 1 to 3 weeks completely. So there's no pain now, which there isn't anything that competes with that, and can actually resolve it quickly, which is cool.
That's pretty great because, the people that I've talked to that have dealt with this said it's miserable and it's tough to kind of overcome that too. So it's good to have some sort of treatment that can help people out of that.
Absolutely. And this plugs in as an adjunct to regular therapy. So, again, there's a lot of things like arch control support, either from orthotics or functional foot strength. There's tightness in calf, there's hips, things that your physical therapist is going to do lovely efforts to resolve you with. And so we definitely kind of plug in to help protect that tissue so it heals faster while they're working to kind of fix the sources.
Now, are you a runner yourself? Or?
I am. So I've done a handful of marathons, and actually this came because I got plantar fasciitis while training for one of my races.
I was wondering that too. So describe, you said it's like knives in your feet.
So first steps in the morning, because all of those bands of plantar fascia originate right at the calcaneus at about the same spot. So they spread out, but all of that tensile strength, the tensile load, originates in one location. So you get a lot of under the heel pain, and so nighttime you are finally sitting still, your body heals for 8 hours. First thing you do is step on it, rip all of that scabbing and healing. So it's like,
doesn't sound like a good time.
oh, it's a mess the first days. First steps in the morning, first 5-10 minutes until it finishes tearing back open. No, it's a bit of a mess.
So hopefully not as painful. How are you enjoying your time at the expo?
Oh, it's been great. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So coming from Texas up into this lovely weather, daughter over here is hoping for snow. So
you guys are very lucky. You guys weren't up here last year, were you?
No, we were not.
We've heard damn near close to the negatives.
We've heard things, and so we're good. We're good. We can have happy to have avoided that.
That's fair. I was actually just in Texas covering an event in November, and I have similar issues with the heat too. So to each their own.
Yes, absolutely. So were you at the run show for the?
So I was covering. I don't know if you've heard of World's Toughest Mudder. It's a tough mudder, but it's for 24 hours or 25 and a half hours. Yeah. She's actually going to be doing her first one. I've done it a couple times. It's a special kind of crazy.
It's a special kind of crazy.
It is. Where can people find out more about you guys online?
So we're cardinalcures.com. Cardinal like the bird, and cures like healing things, right? So cardinalcures.com, and that finds me. So this is pretty much any emails come directly to me because it is our little side gig. So.
Well, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to me, and good luck with everything.
I appreciate you. Y'all have an amazing day.
My name is Steve Tall, and I'm one of the owners of Row House Lovejoy Wharf.
So we had the pleasure of talking last year too. Tell me about Row House.
Row House is a group fitness brand that uses rowing machines to do indoor group classes. And it's a great complement to running because it's low impact, but it also engages a lot of the same muscles, and it's fantastic cardio.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's been a year since we've talked. How's business been going?
It's been going great. We've got a lot of really great loyal members, and we've been doing great.
Yeah. And you said, I believe your location is somewhat close to the Charles River, which is also known for rowing too, right?
Yeah, so we're located in the north end of Boston on Lovejoy Wharf, looking out over the Charles River, right where it spills into Boston Harbor.
That's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, it's a cool venue. And it also means that when the weather is warm, we can bring our classes outside and enjoy the scenery and get some fresh air.
Yeah. How long have you been into the sport of rowing?
Well, I picked it up in college more than 40 years ago. I was a cross-country runner and I started using the crew team's equipment to cross-train, and I discovered it made me a better runner. So I was hooked, and I bought a used rowing machine from the crew team when I graduated school.
Okay. It's one of those things that running is great. Everyone here is doing it. But it inherently breaks your body down. And something like rowing can be good in building muscles, so you build your body back up.
That's right. So it uses 86% of your muscles. And in our classes, we mix in some body weight and hand weight exercises off the machine to kind of get the whole body involved. And so it's great for cross-training. It's also great for getting through an injury and recovering. And, I've been following some interesting trends in the running world where elite runners have been seeking out cross-training alternatives more and more.
Yes.
Elliptical and cycling and so forth. And this is another really great option.
And another thing is, too, it seems very simple looking at the rower, okay, all you do is row. But it seems, as your employee is showing right now, technique's very important, too. So what are some mistakes that you see that you have to frequently correct?
Yeah, so rowing form is absolutely crucial to get the most out of the workout and to prevent injury. One common misconception is that it's an arms workout, but it's not. It's mostly legs. And then in order to ensure that you're doing it safely, you need to prevent your posture from degrading. So you need to be able to maintain a straight back and then know the form to hinge during the stroke. Oftentimes, too, people will kind of rush the stroke. You can't go faster by rowing faster. You go faster by pushing on your legs harder.
More efficiently.
Yes, more efficiently. Exactly right.
How has it been returning to the run show?
Yeah, the run show has been great. We met a lot of new people last year, and yesterday we had almost as many new people put their names into our system as we had in 2 days last year. So it's been, fantastic growth over last year.
Happy to hear that. And where can people find out more about you guys online?
So we're at therowhouse.com, and we're on Lovejoy Wharf.
Thanks for taking the time to talk to me. And
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
My name is Paul Encarnacion. We're from the Harpers Ferry, Virginia area.
Awesome. And what are you here representing today?
We're representing USWE, USWE, which is a Swedish brand that makes hydration backpacks for runners, bikers, and motorcycles.
Tell us all about what sets you guys apart from other backpacks.
Well, I've tried all the hydration packs, in my ultra running career.
Okay.
And I've come all the way to this pack now to represent it, which is the most comfortable bounce-free pack.
Yes.
So USWE is well known for developing bounce-free packs. They have this thing called the patented No Dancing Monkey strap system, harness system. And it was, like I said, began with motorcycle riders.
Okay.
And, the feeling was that you had a monkey on your back jumping up and down. But with this harness system, it doesn't do that.
Yeah.
And so they started developing running packs about 3 years ago. And we've been testing them out and improving them since. And they still have that. Now it's called a No Dancing Monkey 2.0 strap system.
Nice.
But we offer 2-liter packs, 8-liter packs, and 14-liter packs.
That's great. You talked about how you're into ultra running. Do you still do ultras?
Yes, we do.
What are some of your favorite events?
Well, my favorite is the Hurt 100 in Hawaii.
Okay.
The Hawaii Ultra Running Team 100-mile race up in the mountains above Honolulu.
That sounds majestic. Also, a lot of suffering, but it's a good place to suffer there. It's one of those things where some people might wear something like this in a 5K, but especially in an ultra, having a little bit of bounce can cause a lot of chafing, can cause a lot of issues down the line.
That's right. So this pack does not do that. And it's got all sorts of storage options, and it's very configurable. And it's soft, it's very lightweight, but durable at the same time.
Good. How's the expo been treating you?
Very good, yeah. Yesterday was a little busier. More sales yesterday. Today, not as much, but it looks like there's a lot of interesting speakers lined up, Looking forward to hear John Kelly later this afternoon.
Right, yeah. And where can people find out more about your product online?
We are at uswe.com. That's USWE.com. And we have a headquarters in Bend, Oregon in the U.S. and Malmo, Sweden in Sweden. If you order online, you can also get stuff shipped from Sweden, and it comes over here over Federal Express within 3 days.
Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to me, and good luck with your rest of the time here at the expo.
Thank you.
I'm Christine. I actually live in North Attleboro, Massachusetts, where actually also Ashworth Awards is located. And we are a medal and awards manufacturer, but we are much more than that. We do lapel pins, challenge coins, backpacks, bottle openers. We are the only medal manufacturer that has a United States facility that is produced right down the street from us in North Attleboro.
That's great, yeah. You guys are so close.
Yep, and our Made in America line is 100% recyclable, from the metal to the ribbon. We try really hard to work on our sustainability, where our packing peanuts are, I believe, potato. I thought it was potato.
Yeah.
Potato based. We bought a machine that we are for the cardboard boxes that are to make into like packing cardboard boxes.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
more, so very sustainable is our.
So I recognize quite a few medals here. Some are very prestigious, like the Boston Marathon medal. How pretty cool is it to be the distributor of
We
that?
are the only person, or the only company that's ever produced the Boston Marathon. So since they've had medals, we've done them.
That's pretty amazing. I've done my fair share of races, and very often I look at the back and I see you guys'
Yes.
logo there, which is pretty great. How's it feel to have such like a big grip on the market?
It's really awesome, and like I've April I'll be here for a year, but yeah, I mean, it's a small, but people, if you're in the running business, people know us, and we always get referrals by, I ran this race, loved your medals, know.
I know, I saw that. Did you see the Cape Cod one? That's the shell. I remember looking at that series before in the past.
Yeah.
And are you a runner yourself?
I am not.
problem with that.
Sometimes I'm like, I should do a run,
How are you enjoying your time at the expo?
The expo's great. We've run a lot of different people. It's a different kind of expo than we normally do. Most of ours are runners or track clubs, so it's nice to kind of see the runners, and it's fun having the runners come up and be like, I've ran that one and that one and that one, and
the critter curl. Some of them I saw the Little Rock one, which I remember Little Rock having a massive medal, so it's funny to see that one too.
Yes, this is our first year doing Little Rock, but apparently from what I've heard, they always do.
It's a reputation.
Yes.
Yeah, great. What goes into selecting the medals to bring to the expo?
Well, if you ask Chris and I, we like to pick the sparkly, fun ones, and the eye-catching. For this expo particular, we did a lot of our Massachusetts.
Girls on the run. There we go. Yeah.
We picked a lot of we did the Cape Cod, Falmouth, Greg Hill. I think we did there's a Lowell one. So yeah, we kind of did picked a lot of Massachusetts where people could go, I've ran this one, this one, this one, this one.
Yeah. And what do you enjoy most about working with this company?
Really, just the people I work with, the clients I get to talk to, and I'm not a runner, so it's just very interesting of what goes on in putting in a race. It's another aspect of something that I didn't know, and it's interesting to learn.
Absolutely. And where can people find out more about you guys online?
We are at ashworthawards.com, and then Ashworth Awards on all social medias.
Thanks for taking the time to talk to me.
I'm Colin from Wahoo Fitness.
Tell us all about it.
So this is our very first treadmill that we've launched. It's called the Kicker Run, and it's the world's first smart treadmill. So the secret sauce in this treadmill is that it has a sensor that allows you to go into a run-free mode, which for the very first time means that you don't have to touch a button to run on a treadmill. All you have to think about is running.
That's pretty important too. And again, this is just audio only, but explain the whole process with the screen in front of everybody and stuff too.
So what you're seeing on the screen in front of you is that the treadmill itself has a connection via Bluetooth that allows an app, a third-party piece of software, to control what you're seeing or what you're feeling on the treadmill itself. Yeah. So what you're seeing is a program called Zwift. This is Zwift. Yeah, so this is Zwift running. So you can see the cyclists on the screen as well, but they have a run side of their platform. And what you're seeing now is a virtual world, and with live runners. So right now there's 14,000 people running or riding on the platform. And what this allows you then to do is to have a very nice visual distraction, but run in a virtual world. So what Zwift is able to do is to send a grade command to the treadmill. So instead of you having to, press a button or do something to put an incline or a decline, the software itself will control that. So you just, again, have to focus on the running.
You see the hill, you go up the hill.
Correct. Yeah, up to a 15% incline, and a 3% decline.
Decline's important too. A lot of treadmills
Absolutely.
can't do that properly.
For sure,
so.
yeah. And training to run downhill is really important, particularly where we are now in Boston. It's really important.
So how long have you been with them?
With Wahoo? I've been at Wahoo for 8 years.
Wow. What is it that you love so much about this company in particular?
It's an amazing company. So we are a fitness technology company, and the whole thing that we want to try and do is not let the technology get in the way of the workout. This is about making things as simple as it can possibly be, and this is really about innovation. So the treadmill market and treadmills themselves have been around for a long time. We don't consider this to be a treadmill. This is a treadmill that isn't a treadmill. Because think about a treadmill normally is that you're like a hamster on a wheel. You set a pace and you have to keep up with it. You can't really think about anything else. Whereas now you can think about your running form. You just have to run like you would outside. So it gives you that freedom.
I've heard a lot of that too, where like on a treadmill you can kind of run in any style, but this, like, it thrives off of running properly.
Absolutely. So you really do have to think about your form. The other cool thing about this is that not only are we changing the gradient up and down, this also has a lateral tilt. So think about when you run outside, every kind of road and most surfaces have a crown on them. So this is able to replicate that as well. So correct. So you can kind of go to 1.5%. It kind of pivots to the side, which again, software apps are going to be able to control that in the future.
Very cool to see the future here. How are you guys enjoying your time at the expo?
Yeah, it's awesome. This is our first time here, so we're excited to show this product off. We announced it globally here yesterday, so there's a lot of media and hype. So it's good to see people on the product.
Quick question: what is the thing in front of the treadmill?
So that's our Headwind Smart Fan. So what that allows you to do is connect that to your heart rate monitor or to the speed of the treadmill belt. And as you speed up or your heart rate increases, the fan speed increases as well.
That's pretty great, because I have in my garage, I have like a very odd setup with like a big ass like box fan. So that seems a lot smarter there.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Now.
It's super cool. And it's a kind of channel of wind, and it will give you up to 30 miles an hour of air. It's really cool.
Where can people find out more about you guys online?
WahooFitness.com. We're a global company based out of Atlanta, Georgia. And this product is, although announced yesterday, we'll be shipping this during the summer.
Well, good luck with the launch and everything, and thanks for taking the time to talk to me.
Appreciate it.
I'm Anouk, and I'm from Belgium.
So tell us all about what you're representing here.
I'm representing GOFLUO, which is a Belgian brand, and basically what the brand is about is reflectivity, visibility. We wanted to do something fun with a yellow safety vest so people don't have to look like a construction worker when they're out running or walking or bringing their kids somewhere.
Explain the style a little bit, because when my wife and I walked past this yesterday too, it really stood out.
Yeah, the thing, a yellow safety vest is, well, obviously yellow, and it's gray because of the reflectiveness. What we try to do is really source reflective fabrics that can be made in other colors, like pink or beige, so that it doesn't look like a safety item when you're wearing it. It's more like a lifestyle item, but it still has the functionality that a regular safety vest would have. So we try to incorporate like rainbow designs and multiple colors in one piece, but not like losing the functionality of it.
Right. How long have you guys been around for?
So the company just celebrated its 5th anniversary in last fall, and we've been doing business in the U.S. for the last year and a half. So we're really starting out in the U.S., but it's been really exciting for us.
How's your time at the Run Show been going so far?
Really good, actually. It's been a bit of a search for us, like what our best market was going to be in the US. In Europe, it's mostly cycling, but the Run Show, like this event, is just a confirmation for us that like the running industry is where we have to be. So it's been really exciting just talking to our end consumer and getting their feedback, and just a lot of excited people. So,
are you a runner or a biker yourself too?
I am a runner. Yes. Yeah.
What are some of your favorite events that you've accomplished?
I'd say I'm more of a like casual runner. I like running in my neighborhood and just keeping myself fit. But I live in New York, so one day I hope to maybe do first the half marathon and then maybe one day the full marathon.
Yeah, that's pretty great. And where can people find out more about you guys online?
So we have a website with a web shop, which is www.gofluo.com. So that's GOFLUO. But people can also find us on Instagram, and we have some really cool resellers in the US that you also can find on our dealer list on our website.
Perfect. Thanks for taking the time to talk to me, and good luck in the U.S. market.
Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Karen. I'm from Billerica, Massachusetts.
And what are you here representing today?
I'm here representing the Greater Lowell Roadrunners.
So tell us all about what you guys are all about.
Well, we're a group of people who come together, and some of us walk, some of us run, some of us are super fast, some of us are just here for fun, but everybody's here for, being healthy and running and coming and making these amazing races happen. And yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So tell us about some of the official and unofficial events that you guys put on.
Okay, right now it's winter and it's cold, and we have a series on Saturday mornings called the Fudgesicle Series. It's like a little under the radar, low key 5K. It's a lot of fun. Unofficial 5K. That's Saturday mornings at 8 o'clock. And then in July, we're going to have our Berna's Great Legs for Women race. It is a women's only, it's the second oldest women's only race in the United States. Yeah, it's really awesome.
That's a cool medal there, right?
Yeah, we have a lot of cool medals. So that's one of the Berna's medals. I'm not even sure what year that is. It doesn't have the year on it. Right now, the last medal was like purple and silver, and it was also an awesome medal. Yeah, so we have Berna's in July. All summer long, we have the Angry Chickens race series, which is Tuesday nights, and it's also just like a low-key, unofficial, a lot of fun. We have different themes. People dress up. I mean, really dress up. Like, some people take it to an extreme. We had somebody in like a blow-up flamingo costume last year, and that's right along the Merrimack River. It's very beautiful. And then in October, we have our Bay State Marathon, half marathon, and half marathon relay. We attract a lot of people from all over the country because it is a BQ, Boston qualifier. It's fast and flat, and a lot of people are able to qualify for Boston at our marathon.
How long have you been with this team?
Since 2020, so 4 years. Yeah.
What do you love so much about your community in particular?
Everybody is extremely supportive. I ran my first ever marathon at Bay State, and I was representing my team, wearing my team my singlet, and all the our club is all volunteers, and we had every mile, we had volunteers either at a water stop or directing traffic, and they were all cheering for me. They all knew who I was, and you just can't experience that elsewhere. It was amazing. We have so much support.
Where everyone knows your name.
Yeah, literally everybody knew. It was. It's just the most amazing supportive community.
How's your time at the expo been going?
It's awesome. I'm really enjoying it. I've been suffering from plantar fasciitis, and I found the perfect socks at one of the booths. I don't remember the name, but they were so helpful. They found the exact socks that should help me. So yeah.
I hear that's very miserable, so I hope you get through that pretty quickly.
I'm actually on the other side and training for another marathon. So yeah.
And where can people find out more about you guys online?
Our website is glrr.net. There it is. So glrr.net is the Greater Lowell Roadrunners website. And then we also have a Bay State Marathon website, which is www.baystatemarathon.com. And that's going to be on October 20th, 2024. And again, it's a marathon, a half marathon, and a half marathon relay. All are welcome.
Awesome. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to me, and hope to see you guys at a race sometime soon.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
I'm Adam. I'm from Scimitar. We're based in the UK, but we're also in Minnesota, and we're here in the US to see how things go, basically.
What's Scimitar all about?
Scimitar's all about custom kit. So we deal with a lot of big events, a lot of charities, and we basically supply sublimation mainly, custom kit.
Yeah. Now, I believe you guys did the shirts for the ambassadors last year too, probably this year as well?
Yeah, last year and this year. We deal with all of the events across the US and in the UK, and we deal with, supply all the ambassador shirts, which is great to see, and everyone's been very happy with them.
Yeah, it quickly became one of my favorite shirts to run in. It's very, very comfortable, and I very, very much enjoy that too. How long have you guys had a presence in the United States?
In the States for about 3-4 years now, and in the UK about 12. We are looking to grow in the US, so fingers crossed.
How's the expansion going so far for you guys?
Yeah, it's going pretty well. It's been a bit of a slow start, but now we're building some momentum, and then we're off to running USA after this as well.
Okay.
So that should be good. So.
Yeah, it must be tough. 3 years ago would be like pandemic season too, so I'm sure that made things a little difficult.
Yeah, it was a little. We probably couldn't have started at a worse time really, but we're here. Things are looking good. So.
How are you guys enjoying your time at the run show?
Yeah, it's been good. Saw a lot of people yesterday. Yesterday afternoon was very busy, and then looking forward to seeing a few more today as well.
Now, are you a runner yourself too, or?
Not a very good one. No, not a very good one. But I do try. But not. I don't do many events. I'm always working.
That's fair. And where can people find out more about Scimitar online?
If they go to scimitarsports.com, and then everything's on there. But yeah, please reach out.
Awesome. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to me, and I think you've sponsored a pretty good event this year. So thanks.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Hi, I'm Mark Walter from Westwood, Massachusetts.
What are you here representing?
I'm here representing my company, Sun Multisport Events. We produce the Barn to Run Trail Race Series, which is New England's first and only farm-based trail race series.
Nice. I dig the pun. Tell me what's so unique about them.
Well, they're all based at farms, hence the name. We have at each event multiple race distances for people to choose from. So we kind of have a short, medium, and long. All of them are under 10 miles, so very friendly to people that have been longtime trail runners as well as new trail runners. We really embrace the farm theme. We have some pretty cool t-shirts that people really seem to enjoy, get a lot of positive feedback on that. We do cider donuts after the races in the fall, which is always very popular. We really integrate the farm into the event, so we'll give awards that include eggs and fresh meat and vegetables. So there's a barnyard at all of the places, so it's very family friendly.
Where are you guys located? Where are your events?
So we have 3 events in the series. One or 2 of them are in Dover, Massachusetts on Memorial Day, May 27th, and then again in October. On October 20th, that's Dover, Massachusetts, and then we have a race in Hingham, Massachusetts on October 13th.
I think Hingham's a little bit closer to us, and I do like the shirt designs as well. Very, very entertaining wearing the glasses.
Yeah, great.
So how long have you guys been around?
The series was started in 2018, so we're going on our 6th year.
Nice. And what is it that you love so much about being in charge of all these kind of events?
I love just putting together a great race experience for runners. I've been producing events for 17 years, so it's really been a passion of mine. I'm myself and also an endurance athlete, so it's fun to be on both sides of it, but I really love putting together an event, bringing everyone together, and seeing all those happy, smiley faces on race day.
Other than your own, what are some of your favorite events that you've took part in?
That's a great question. I've done a lot of different events. I don't tend to do the same ones over and over. I've done one Ironman in Louisville in 2018, so that was a pretty special event. I did the Seven Sisters Trail Run in Western Massachusetts a couple of years ago. That was very memorable. So those 2 stand out.
And how are you enjoying your time at the expo? How's it going for you guys?
It's good. It's been great. Yeah, very, very steady. Meeting people that have done some of the events in the past, so it's nice to reconnect with them. There's also a lot of new people that haven't heard of the series, so it's been very productive. Glad I came.
Yeah, definitely a trail run series that I haven't heard of, and so I'm looking forward to checking it out. And where can people find out more about you guys online?
barntorun.com.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
I'm Tim Richmond, race director with Max Performance.
Tell us about Max Performance.
Yeah, so we host sprint and Olympic distance triathlons here in Massachusetts and the New England area for the past 18 seasons.
Damn. Okay, that's been a long time. I'm assuming you take part in these events too, or similar events?
I am organizing the races, so I don't get a chance to actually jump into any of our races, believe it or not. But yes, as a background, I am an endurance athlete, triathlons, so that's been a passion for many years.
What is it that you love so much about the sport of triathlon in particular?
I like the fact that it's like transitioning from one aspect to the other. The cross training, you can really never get bored. And you always have a nice fresh workout each week with like 3 different disciplines to get you there. Yeah. So it's fun.
So tell us about some of the events that you guys put on.
Yeah, so we started our season actually at the season opener in May, and that's in Hopkinton. So that's for folks that really want to get after it at the state park in Hopkinton on May 19th. That's a fun race. And then we have the Harvest Triathlon on June 9th. That's a sprint and Olympic down in Wareham. You get the chance to run inside and around Cranberry Bogs. Yeah, so it's a really fun
loves Cranberry Bogs.
Fun spot, yeah. And then the Sharon Triathlon's kind of like it's one of the longest running triathlons really since the 90s. And we took over about 16 years ago. And that's a summer event in August. And that's a half-mile swim, a 12-mile, and then a 4.4 on the run. Yeah, and then we also have one of the also the longest running women's only triathlon. That's a Title IX race in September. So that's a amazing camaraderie and spirit with over 600 women coming together to race in Hopkinton at sprint distance. And then we finish off our season at Buzzards Bay, which is an ocean swim, September 15th. Beautiful bike course down there. Okay. It's amazing.
So, back when I was a kid, Westport was like our beach place to go to. And
that's where we're at.
Beautiful. Oh, really? Okay,
Yep.
So that needs to go on my list.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing. And it's good that like you have sprint and you have Olympic for the other one too. Yeah. It's just a good gateway into the sport. Like a sprint is totally doable for people, right?
Absolutely. We do find a lot of athletes that love sprints and Olympics. Maybe they'll take a foray into a half Ironman, and then we get them back usually the next year after some training. So, yeah, it's great. It's great to see athletes out there achieving their goals.
Yeah. Something that always throws me off a little bit too. What is the Olympic distance? What are the distances that correspond for that?
Yeah, so officially, in the Olympics every 4 years they host the triathlon. So the Olympic distance is 1.5 kilometers, a 40K on the bike, and then a 10K run.
Okay.
So for the the U.S. system here, we're looking at just about a mile swim, a 24-mile bike, and then a 6.2 mile run.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing to kind of build up to as well. Awesome.
It is. It's chunky. It's got some kick to it.
And which of these events, like choosing a favorite child, which is your favorite? If you could only participate in one, I guess.
I think most recently Harvest has been in creation for the past 5 years, and it's just such a beautiful spot because it has that trail run, packed cranberry bogs around the bogs. It's so beautiful. And it's kind of like a semi-closed bike course as well. Okay. So the venue there is wonderful. We have great partners at 80 Makepeace. They're just a pleasure to work with, and so it's a great community to be a part of, too.
And how's the expo treating you guys?
Great, yeah. We're getting some good registrations, people interested, a lot of runners who might be afraid of jumping into a swim. Yeah. But with all of our races, you can do a relay as well, which means that one person can swim, another can bike, and then the third person could go out for the run. It's a great way to stay involved in the sport.
And where can people, myself included, find out more about you guys online?
Yeah, you can visit us at maxperformanceonline.com.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, this was fun.
Ethan Michaud, and we're with the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation is out of Framingham, Mass.
And tell us what you guys are all about.
Yeah, so our mission is to help people and families affected by autism live life to the fullest. And we have a very robust endurance fundraising and adaptive running program, both through a two-pronged approach that involves Dougie's team. That's our endurance fundraising program. We bring runners to the Boston Marathon, the New York City Marathon, run Disney races, and many others across the country. We also host a national series of 5Ks headquartered in Natick, Mass. in October. But there's 5Ks in 9 different states now and growing across the country as we speak. All of our 5Ks, as well as our Dougie's team races, have a strong focus on adaptive running and inclusion. So all of our 5Ks are fully inclusive, run, walk, rolls. We don't turn anybody away. And Dougie's team has a strong focus on including adaptive runners with autism and developmental disabilities to participate in these races. The Boston Marathon especially, we're the adaptive program title sponsor for the Boston Marathon.
And just a reminder for people that aren't too familiar with the name Doug Flutie, explain how he's involved in all this.
Yeah, so Doug Flutie, former NFL quarterback, played for the Patriots for a while for those in New England, also better known probably for his Boston College days and the famous Hail Mary pass. But Doug and his family started the Flutie Foundation for Autism, named after Doug Flutie Jr., his son, when he was diagnosed with autism at age 3. And to this day, we just celebrated 25 years in 2023. We're stronger than ever. We have more runners and more services and more partners than ever. We're a national organization now with a strong focus in New England. And Doug and Lori and Dougie Jr. are still very involved and very much a part of the foundation as well.
That's awesome. So we talked to you last year. How long have you been involved with the Doug Flutie Foundation?
So myself personally, I've been with this foundation for 2 years now.
Yeah. Yep. What is it that that keeps you involved with this?
I mean, so much, right? For me, it's really the cause. I'm personally passionate about the cause. I have family members who have developmental disabilities, and also the people that I've met through this work. It's so great to work with so many adaptive athletes, in particular runners. It's such an inspiring world to be a part of, and the fact that I'm able to take my professional life and turn it into something that can create opportunities for others to partake in the sport that I also personally love so much, which is running, keeps me involved and will keep me involved for a long time.
Absolutely. And tell us put on.
Sure. So we're honing in the date as we speak, but the Flutie 5K happens every October in Natick. It's about a 1,500 person road race, so it's a big 5K, strong emphasis on inclusion. Actually, last year in 2023, we just launched the Chiricella Adaptive Division, so we now have scholarship prize money for adaptive athletes who self-classify as part of our 5K, which was a really cool step forward. But it's a run, walk, roll, like I said, so it's fully accessible. If you're mobility impaired, if you have disabilities, if you have autism, whatever it might be, we welcome everybody and anybody. And all the funds raised through the 5K go back into the local autism community, either through the Flutie Foundation or through our charity partner program, which is where people raise funds directly for about 35 different autism-serving nonprofits in the Boston and New England area. So
That's great.
Yeah.
How's your time at the expo been going?
Run Show's been great. Second year, it was a no-brainer for us to come back. We've met so many great people here. There's been no difference this year. We've met so many new great people, so many familiar faces. It really, I think, is just a testament to the strength of the running community in Boston and in New England. I mean, I've met folks as far as Pennsylvania, up north in New Hampshire. I mean, people are in from all over, and so it's great to be able to spread the mission, meet new people, network with other running organizations and races and companies. But yeah. I think it's a great representation of the running community, and I think it has shown us that the running community is stronger than ever right now in this area. So it's really cool to see.
Where can people find out more about you guys online?
Sure. So it's flutiefoundation.org, F-L-U-T-I-E Foundation. You can find out there about all of our program, our funding sources, our races, our 5K, everything under the sun that we do, you can find there. And there's also many ways to reach out directly, whether you're specifically interested in a program that we run or a race that we do, or if you just want to get in touch and learn more, that would be the place to do it.
Well, thanks for doing what you're doing, and thanks for taking the time to talk to me.
Yeah, thank you guys. Love it as always.
Alan Stroshine, Keene, New Hampshire.
Beautiful Keene. And tell us about the race that you're representing here.
Yeah, the Clarence DeMar Marathon has been run since 1978. It was about 2014 we added a half marathon, the DeMar Half Marathon. It is now the signature fundraiser for the Keene Elm City Rotary Club. 100% of proceeds go to support programs and things that the Rotary Club sponsors. But it is probably the signature event in our community on the calendar. We have about 400 to 500 runners in each the full and the half. But beyond that, there's also a Kids DeMar program where we have about 1,000 kids who run or walk 25 miles over the course of the summer. Then they come do their marathon on race day and do 1.2.
Yes.
And then
like the last 1.2 and finish.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then we have the super seniors, which are 70 and older, who do the same program. So they all finish their particular marathon, and it's timed so that about 10, 15 minutes when they're done, the leaders of the full and the half start to come. So the quad at Keene State College is filled with 3,000 or 4,000 people with cowbells, and so it's a party at the finish.
Keene knows how to throw a party. We talked about Pumpkin Fest a little bit too, but tell us a little bit about who was Clarence DeMar.
Yeah, Clarence DeMar, running icon back in the early 1920s and 30s. He's known best for a record that I don't think will ever be broken, and that's the most Boston Marathon wins. He's won 7 of them. He's also a 3-time Olympian and won a bronze medal in the 24 Paris Olympics. So again, back in his day, he was the top of the heap.
Yeah. And how's the expo treating you this year?
It's been good. Yesterday a little busier than today, but still a lot of great conversations. A lot of people stopping by wanting to learn about where we are and what we do.
Yeah. And where can people find out more about you guys online?
ClarenceDeMarMarathon.com.
My name is Craig Frand, and I'm from Rhode Island.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And you here representing today?
We're here representing Ruck for Hit, which is a adventure relay race on the Cape to benefit heroes in transition.
Yes. Now you made a really good comparison to another type of event. How would you describe this kind of race?
Well, I'm saying we're like Ragnar, but on steroids, right? So same type of adventure relay race, round the clock, living in a van, but we do it with up to 20 pounds in a rucksack on our backs.
Now, you say up to, what's like the standardization? Like, how does that work?
So if you're under 160 pounds, you can run with 10 pounds, right? As soon as you hit 160 pounds, you have to run with 20 pounds. Now, some people, they run with more.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And how long have you guys been around for?
So Ruck for Hits rucking into the last one was right, and they rucked back to Cape Cod.
Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you a rucker yourself?
I am.
Yeah.
And I totally stumbled into it by accident, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was getting into, right? But totally into crazy adventure type opportunities. And even the morning of the ruck, I still didn't really know what I was getting myself into.
Yeah.
But the amazing thing is that it's not just about the ruck itself. It's about supporting an amazing organization like Heroes in Transition.
Yes. Yeah. So tell us about that foundation.
So Heroes in Transition is really unique. It's a veterans organization. And unlike other veterans organizations with homelessness and helping with prosthetic or building homes or modifying homes, Heroes is focused on programs related to relationships and community for the veteran, active service members, and their families. So I'm not a military person, but I definitely support those. And when you're back home getting acclimated or reacclimated to civilian life, it can be a bit challenging, right? So husbands, wives, parents, kids, best friends, just active within the community, you need that additional support to help you through.
And how are you enjoying your time at the expo? How's your event been received so far?
Oh, it's amazing. So a lot of people that are interested in the Ruck, but I have to tell you, my favorite thing is meeting the veterans that are coming through.
Right, yeah.
You know, veterans of all ages, veterans who love to run, veterans who actually appreciate not just this amazing adventure race that we do to support, but actually the programs for this particular veterans organization.
Right.
So, yeah.
Where can people find out more about your event online?
HeroesInTransition.org.
Thanks for taking the time to talk to me, and hope to see you at an event sometime.
Thanks for taking the time to speak with us.
All right, so we'll just start off with your name and where you're from.
Danny Dreyer, Asheville, North Carolina.
And what are you here at the expo representing today?
Chi running, which is a running technique system.
Yeah. Tell us all about it. What's your secrets?
Secret is in the sauce. No. Chi running is it's called Chi running because the Chi part of it is I was an ultra marathoner for many years. Once I realized, when I started taking a Tai Chi class 25 years ago, I realized pretty quickly that all the internal focuses of Tai Chi, what makes it a really good movement system in martial art, can be applied to running. So once I discovered that, I was like, whoa, I'm golden, you know? And so the things that apply are that in Tai Chi, when you move your body, you're always moving from your center and relaxing your peripherals, right? So you move from your center, but you're relaxing your arms and legs. And it's highly effective, especially because all of your strongest part of your body is in the center of your body. That's why they call it your core. But if you look at how the body's designed, the further away you get from your core, the smaller your body parts get, right? So you look at running, a sport like running, and you look at where all the running injuries happen. It's from the knees down, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's the smallest part of the leg and the smallest muscle groups. And I look around and I see everybody running, and how they're running is using their toes, calves, ankles, shins, hitting hard with their knees. Everything's below the knee. So most running injuries are from the knees on down. So my job is to get people to not use anything from the knees down. If you can learn to run from your center. And you really learn to run from your center because you're working on a system of allowing your body to just fall forward.
Yes.
And then you just have to pick up your feet to keep up with your fall. Well, it's so much easier to pick up your feet to keep up with your fall than it is to push a 150-pound body around a marathon for 3.5 or 4 or 5 hours, right? So pushing your body around as opposed to falling forward, it's a no-brainer.
I remember, I think you made a comparison last year about talking about like a hamster wheel, right? Like when you're running, like the wheel underneath you is going one way and above you it's going like another.
Yeah. So the top half of your body is moving forward. The lower half of your body is moving rearward. That way, as your body is falling, right, your upper body is falling towards the pull of gravity. So you've always got this propulsion that's from the earth. It's not from your legs. And then at the same time, you're balancing yourself so you can stay in that slight forward fall. But when your feet hit the ground, they are always moving opposite. They're always moving rearward. And the reason why they are is because as soon as you start falling forward, moving forward, the road is coming at you. It becomes a force coming at you. The last thing you want to do is be reaching your legs out into that oncoming force, because then you're actually literally putting the brakes on. So you want your feet to land underneath you and let the road just sweep your legs out of your way.
Yeah. It's an adjustment, but it's an important adjustment, especially if you want longevity in the sport, which you have seemed to have mastered. There's got to be some secret.
Yeah, either longevity in the sport or to make a long distance run easier, or to make any amount of running easier on your body. But if you want it for speed, you can also do a thing where in order to get faster, you don't have to get stronger legs. That's not a part of the equation anymore. All you have to do is fall forward at a little steeper of an angle, so gravity is going to pull you stronger. In order to allow gravity to pull you stronger, you have to relax your legs more. So the faster you go, the more relaxed your legs have to be. How much of that's totally counter to everything every runner believes, right?
There's a lot of people that put a heavy emphasis on like cadence and stuff too. What are your thoughts on that of like 180 being vital?
I put a lot of emphasis on cadence. Cadence is crucial. It's really important. And you should try to adopt a cadence somewhere between 180 strides per minute and 170 strides per minute. Now, think of cadence as a wheel, as a gear running around. If you are a tall person, 6 feet or taller, you want to gravitate towards a little slower cadence because your legs are long. It takes a longer time to turn those big things over. So you would settle in more towards the 170 end of the spectrum. If you're medium or shorter person, you would go in towards somewhere between 175 and 180. You would be more towards the higher end of that because your legs turn over easier. And if you're a short person doing 170 cadence, which is slow for you, you're going to be lopey, you're going to be hitting hard, you're going to be using a lot of muscles for support. It's going to work against you. But cadence works for you if it matches what your body can do best.
So I'm more on the taller side, definitely on the heavier side, but I'm very like steady at like 160. Like what are things that I can do to kind of bump it up? Because I had a coach that was like, go for 180, and I could not hold it.
How tall are you?
6 foot.
6 foot, okay. So your coach says 180. Correct your coach. Say, you know what? 180 is really not built for my body.
I can't move that fast.
Just say, okay, I'm going to shoot for 170. Right? So right now you're at 160. What I would do is download some kind of a metronome onto your phone or whatever.
Music is what I call it.
yeah. But don't do it to music. You want to just do a beat because you want to really pay attention to how your body is hitting the ground. Right? So if you're starting off at 160, set 160 into your metronome. And then just run at 160, which is what you're used to. So it's nothing new for your body. But what is new is you're having to train yourself to match that beat. Okay? Do it for every run for a week. At the end of that week, have your friend put the metronome at 161.
That's what I figured. Yeah. Yeah, they kind of like shape it into what you want.
Your body will not know the difference between one more stride in a whole minute. Now, if you're that sensitive,
Yeah, Princess and the Pea.
I'll bow down to you. Yes. So once a week, you just bump it up one beat. That's a good idea. That means if you're shooting for 170, that's what? That's 10 weeks to get up to your ideal cadence. 10 weeks, that's 2.5 months.
Yeah.
That's gradual enough that your body's, by the end of 10 weeks, your body's going, this was easy, I haven't done anything, you know?
It seems like the big thing is like you're spending less time on your feet. Like the quicker you go, the less time you're actually spending on each strike.
Yeah, the more time you spend on each foot strike, the more support time your body has to spend supporting your body weight. You look at the Kenyans, they support their body weight just a tiny fraction of a second. And some sprinters, you know, they spend way more time in the air than they do on the ground. Think of what that means. If I'm more time in the air than on the ground, I'm not spending a whole lot of time supporting my body for any reason.
And how's your time at the expo been? I know we talked a little bit last year too, but this year you gave a couple talks. How's it been treating you this year?
It's been actually really good. There's been good audiences. People are craving knowledge about how do I run more efficiently. I'm tired of getting tired. I'm tired of getting hurt. I'm tired of not accomplishing my race goals. I'm tired of bailing, you know? And so if you change how you run and combine that with how you train, those two, you're golden, because you not only know how to move your body more efficiently, you're taking all the impact away from how you run, you're adding more relaxation to how you run, but then you're adding that into each one of the training runs you do, whether it's hill running or interval training or long slow distance or tempo runs, whatever it is, you're applying this whole new system to each one of those things, which actually each one of those trains your body to do a different thing, right? Your interval runs build your cardiovascular capacity. So that makes your heart stronger. If you do hilly runs, that trains your body how to go uphill because you're always working your uphill technique and your downhill technique. So when you get to a race that's hilly, you know how to manage the hills. You don't just gut it out and go, well, let's do this, you know? No, don't just do this. Do it with a brain.
Smarter, not harder, absolutely. And where can people find out more about you and your books online?
The easiest way is just go to Chi Running, CHI Running, chirunning.com. And, you know, you can find an instructor, you can get books, videos.
Like 11 different languages or something too, I saw. Like you guys
it's like 20 different languages, and it's taught now in 26 countries around the world. We have instructors in 20 countries. So it's getting more and more well-known. You know, it's kind of hitting mainstream.
Good.
So, yeah, I've been doing this for 25 years, and up until like the last 10 years, it was an uphill battle because people are going, what? You're going to teach me how to run? I've been running my whole life.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but what if you've been running wrong your whole life? You know?
Feel it in later years, that's for sure.
Yeah, what if you're going around injured or with a knee brace or like whatever, you know? So this is a way to clean up your act, you know?
Awesome. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to me, and thanks for doing what you're doing to try to help the community.
Thank you. It's what I'm here for. So thanks for the interview, too. That's wonderful.
I'm David Hellard from London.
I'm Jody Rainsford from Mid-Sussex.
And representing Bad Boys. Bad Boy, tell us a little bit about it.
Bad Boy Running, it's kind of the conversations that you'd have down the pub. So it's not really about running, it's more about runners and the craziest, most adventurous, weirdest, wackiest stories there are on the planet.
Yeah, it was basically came about by the fact that we were having these conversations in the pub about running, and we didn't think they were really reflected in any of the magazines, any of the media that we were listening to. So we thought, why don't we just set up a microphone, like start having a conversation about it, and lots of other people seem to want to sit next to us in that pub and listen to it.
How long have you guys been around now? How long have you been doing this?
I think this is our 9th year we're coming into.
It is our 9th year.
Yeah.
Right at the start.
Which is quite strange because we knew each other for maybe 2 years beforehand, and so it's one of our longest relationships, more successful than most of my dating relationships.
Yeah, that's it. I know. We're the longest running couple of all time. I think that's the
It's I describe podcasting as like an ultra marathon. That there's so many people that start up a podcast, so many in obstacle course racing, and they just don't last because it's tough to keep up with. What's your secret to success with having such a successful show?
It's weirdly enough, it's not to care too much in the sense that we obviously care about listeners and everything like that, but it's not to worry too much about what anyone else is doing. We really haven't changed anything that we've done at all from the very start. We went very low in terms of the quality of the recording and the quality of everything that we did, and what that's done is that has ensured that we haven't had to change anything based on anyone else. We've just really just done the thing that we've always done and carried people with us.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of podcasts have been created to try and promote someone or for a business, and actually ours was just because we loved having a chat each day. And I think the only reason it would stop is if one of us dies, we have a massive falling out, or if we just get bored of the stories in the world. And actually that's a strange thing. It's easier and easier to find amazing guests now because there's just the stories, the flow of information is so much greater that we just enjoy doing it still. And I think if you still love it, then they will continue because that comes across to the listener.
I mean, that's the thing. You can still find stuff that's funny. Like, everything's funny. It doesn't really matter what the story is, or it doesn't matter what's happening. It's like, all we're really trying to find out is what is each other's take on it. Right. And I think that's what the listeners want. They were like, okay, something happens. What do Jodie and David think about it? And that's why they want to listen, because they just want to say, like, we just want the take on this particular thing. Yeah. And it kind of doesn't matter what it is. But we've got, plenty of things that happen. And like David said, it's a constant stream of crazy, weird things. So we're never struggling for anything to talk about.
Something that I really love about being a podcaster is that it breaks down barriers in terms of, like, I get to talk to, like, Des Linden. Like, Des Linden came on my show. Like, it's so super cool, and it makes you realize that, like, the world's very big, but the more people you talk to, the smaller it feels. And it's just a really special, unique place to be being a podcaster.
Yeah, completely. And as you say, it gets you in conversations you wouldn't have otherwise, and it weirdly it gives you credibility that you certainly don't deserve. And,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's quite. I mean, that's the thing. I think a lot of people think in order to have someone like these incredible ultra runners and some of these incredible big names, you've got to have this incredible credibility yourselves in order to do that. Right. But what we've really we certainly don't have that. But what we do offer is the fact that it's and the reason why we managed to get people back on time and again is that we probably have conversations with them that they don't otherwise have. They bring a kind of a completely different level of curiosity to what they're doing, and they're talking about things that they haven't done before. They're not going through the motions of oh yeah, this is my career, these are the things that I've achieved and everything else like that. And and that's driven by thinking, well, those are the things that we want to listen to, and also the things that our audience want to listen to. But what it does, then it just makes it a little bit more interesting for those guests when they want to come back on. They want to talk about something. They kind of enjoyed the experience, and even if they haven't got anything really to say, they just want to come and have another conversation again. So, and that's worked really well.
Yeah, we don't always stick to script when we had. God, you can tell it's the end of the show. My brain's going.
It was like Christy Wellington.
Yeah, we had Christy Wellington. We spoke to her for about an hour and a half. It's the first time she'd ever talked about being bullying in her first training camp. But when we spoke to Jim Wamsley, and we didn't actually, we don't really research our guests a lot of the time, and we'll go in there almost as the listener does, where we'll know what the headline is, we'll know why they're interesting. But like Jim Wamsley's whole story to do with
working on the
basically being bullied by his boss at the nuclear plant, and that's why he discovered trail running, and his whole journey was changed from a bad decision the first day before he joined his work. But we also, now that we know our audience, they're quite forgiving of us going off piste, and we interviewed the world's strongest man just because I wanted to do it. And I read this story about a guy who years ago changed the Wikipedia page of a Honduran football player, called him the Honduran Maradona, and potentially ruined that whole guy's life. And I just thought that would be such a cool story to tell. And it's not related in any way to anything that we represent as Bad Boy Running, but actually the stories were super fun and really our audience loved it because it was almost the spirit of the podcast without it necessarily being the subject matter of it.
Yeah, I think that's it, isn't it? And the other thing is that when we do things like that, we get incredible feedback from our audience who then go, "Oh, I've seen this like little tiny snippet of a story somewhere. Can you go off and see whether you can get that person on?" And then David will go off, try and find it, and then we'll get some incredible story back about someone who did a race somewhere that no one's ever heard of, and it kind of turns a little bit of a feedback loop, and it's really useful. I think if you kind of really narrow yourselves to saying, okay, we're only going to cover these type of elite runners, or we're going to cover these type of people, it's really true. It's more of like, is there a story to be told? Right. Is there some element? Is it funny? Is there some element of personality? Is it going to be something that we think people want to listen to? And that's really how we've managed to get such a broad range of guests on the show, but also having people listen to the podcast that we wouldn't otherwise have thought. And that's it. And it's just a combination of those two things.
Yeah. It's like a good feeling when you have that much support from the community that they trust you enough, like just interview whoever. It's going to be good content because it's your style that they kind of fall in love with. I could keep talking about podcasting forever, but how does it feel to be brought out to the Boston Run Show and being here today as like fireside chat?
Really cool. Yeah. Most of this week is most of the stories come from the States actually that we do, because the UK it's just not that big, particularly not an ultra, and then the continent, our Spanish and French, German isn't that good. So actually we interview so many American guests, and there's so many American epic races. Yeah. So to be able to come out, and we've been delivering an ultra stage at the Run Show in the UK for 4 years now.
Oh, I didn't think you realized. Okay.
Yeah, so to be able to actually come here and replicate it, because it's just so nice to see people actually meet their meet their heroes. Yeah. But to meet, and we had John Kelly here, we had Scott Jurek, we've had some unbelievable speakers, and it's just great to be able to bring that together and be part of it. And now that we know those individuals personally quite well, it means you can guide them through the conversations to get the most for the audience. Right. But then you learn as well, because you get all of the audience questions and you get to understand actually what appeals to them. But if they want to do one in Asia, I'm in. If they want to do one in Australia, I'm in.
We'll go around the world. We'll follow you wherever you go, and we'll host a trail and ultra stage. That's it.
How's your Boston experience been this weekend?
It's great. When you start doing a show, you're just a little bit unsure, like what the audience is going to be like. Right. You're not in a studio. Absolutely. Are they going to laugh at all our terrible jokes in the same way that, well, they don't laugh at them in the UK, but they might work here. So you don't know. And the makeup of it's different, and the kind of the vibe's a little bit different. But yeah, it's been great. It's been really good. Everyone's been enthusiastic. We've had some good numbers. The conversations have been great as well. And then there's just some real enthusiasm that makes it just really good energy to be here.
Yeah, you guys are naturals up there, so it was very good to see, and trail running is definitely more my speed. Olympic athletes are very cool too, but like this I can identify with. I mean, how much can you identify with a 200-miler guy? But where can people find out more about your podcast?
I mean, if you're too fucking stupid to Google it, mate, you don't need my help.
Awesome. Well, thanks. Great to meet you guys, and thanks for taking the time to talk to me.
No,
Thanks,
great
buddy.
to meet you.
Be wonderful.
John Kelly. I live down along the Tennessee-North Carolina near a small town called Boone.
And so tell us all about how did you first stumble upon ultra running?
I kind of came to it more from a backpacking angle than I did from a running angle. I enjoyed doing these long-distance hikes, these through hikes, and I loved being out in the mountains and seeing that terrain, and simply didn't have time for it as much as I wanted to. And then one day someone kind of sent me an article on ultra running, and I thought, that's it. Yeah. I can get out there and I can see more of these places in the limited amount of time that I have.
Yeah. Something that you spoke to, which I really found interesting, is that running is essentially a solo sport, but there is some kind of like camaraderie. When you set an FKT and someone beats your FKT, it motivates you to get back out there too. So explain that, like the camaraderie that you have with like fellow athletes in that way.
Yeah, so we're all striving towards the same goal and competing, but it's a positive competition where we need that to continue to spur each other on. It's kind of one of those iron sharpens iron situations, and we all know that. We appreciate that. And at the top, we're also just continuing to push what we're collectively capable of as humans. And I do view those as group efforts, whether it's my support team or whether it's people that might be kind of indirectly competing against me and providing me motivation and helping me see what's really possible out there. That's a huge part of it. And my biggest kind of rival in the UK was Damien Hall, and he's also a great friend of mine.
Yeah, it's awesome how it works. And you've done a number of pretty prestigious events, but one that really carries a lot of weight is the Barkley Marathons. What made you want to go the extra mile and do something crazy like the Barkley Marathons, which has such a history of the race that eats its young?
So I actually started off early. That was one of my earliest ultras, and a big part of that for me was that it's my home terrain. That's right across the street from where I grew up, where my family's been for a long time, and being able to go out and do that kind of on my home course and representing the local community was a huge motivating factor for me.
Yeah. And how is it? How would you describe Laz? Is he as eccentric as he seems in all the movies and everything? Or?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly how I described him in one of my recent blog posts. That he has the kind of gruff external demeanor of a Wolverine, but inside he's got a heart of gold, and he wants to see people succeed. He wants to see people do incredible big things, but he's a firm believer that in order for someone to accomplish something big, failure has to be a possible outcome.
Yeah. And another aspect of doing what you do is pushing yourself so hard that you can find out where your limits are and finding what your strengths and weaknesses are. It's been a journey, I'm sure, just for running, but like as a person, like how has it helped you in your day-to-day life?
It's been huge for me in my career as a husband, as a parent, learning what I'm good at, learning what I maybe need some help with, where I have weaknesses, and also just learning that I can do it. Yeah. Like, so many challenges come up in our lives in all areas, our job or our family life or medical issues, whatever. And just having that knowledge that, like, no, I can do this. I can push through it. Remember that other thing that I did? Yeah. I've got this. And just continuing to build up this reservoir of mental
fortitude.
Things that you can recall in tough times.
So my background is obstacle course racing, and we call it like obstacle immunity. Like, all right, the copier's not working, the stapler's not working. So fucking what? I'm not running for days out in the wilderness right now. Like, it's okay.
Yeah. Even within ultras, I so often, when I'm in these long multi-day challenges, I kind of break it up and relate to things that I've done. Like, I will often break it up into, okay, how many Barkley loops do I have left right now? Or how many, like, or now it's just a 50K, now it's just a marathon. And so being able to have all of these things that I can relate to and break them down into manageable chunks that I know I can get through.
Yeah, eating an elephant one bite at a time kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And how do you feel that your talk went at the run show today?
I think pretty well. I was up there. You were out here. You probably have a better idea of how it went than I did. But I thought that it was engaging, both the host on stage and the questions afterwards. So hopefully, people came away from it with a good experience and maybe some things that they can use themselves in their own challenges.
I definitely enjoyed it. What's next for you for the rest of the year? What are you planning now?
A lot of the year still kind of up in the air, depending on what races I can get into, what I can fit into my schedule and around other life commitments. I just can go ahed and assume the default is that I'll be heading back to Barkley pretty much each year, unless something comes up. After that, we'll see where things go.
And where can people find you on social media?
So randomforestrunner.com is my blog. It has links to all my social media where my handle is also some form of Random Forest Runner.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to me, and glad you made it out to the run show.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Welcome back.
Thank you to everyone that took the time to talk to me, and Raccoon Media Group for welcoming us back again. We had a great time and hope to see you guys again next year, and more listeners too. Definitely check out this event. It was a fun time. 4 related episodes. Episode 318 was the Run Show Part 1 back last year, which was 2023. Episode 319 was the Run Show Part 2. And then last episode was 369, which was Part 1 of this coverage. Titled The Boston Run Show Part 1 with Russell Hoyt, Pete Kostolnik, Corey Waltering, David Barkley, and more. Links down below, so would you kindly check those out?
Subscribe and follow wherever you get your podcasts. We're on...
Sorry, the cat's going through all of my old OCR memorabilia.
Subscribe and follow wherever you get your podcasts. We are on Spotify, the Purple Podcast app, and all the places. And leave us a review like the dope Scorsese did.
We got a new one. Thank you very much.
He said,
well, if it's nice.
Awesome podcast. 5 stars. Mike and his team really go above and beyond with their live event coverage and interviews. Great quality, excellent questions, and they cover a wide variety of topics. He's also nice enough to feel you completing your obstacles in the middle of the night. 10 out of 10 recommend.
What was that last bit again? He's nice enough to film you completing obstacles in the middle of the night. 10 out of 10. That could be a few different people. I've helped a lot of people, but thank you very much. That means a lot. And also, Mike and my team, who's my team?
Me?
Me. It's the two of us.
Us.
Yeah. Thank you very much. That means a lot. Thank you.
Follow us on social media. We are on Instagram at Obstacle Running Adventures and Facebook.
Yeah, you can support us over on Patreon for as little as $2, as many as $10. Get all sorts of fun behind-the-scenes perks.
Yes. Coming up next.
I don't know what's coming up next. I haven't planned that far ahead. There was someone very big who wanted to come on the podcast. He has since gone radio silent, as expected.
Surprise.
Yep. So I have, there's plenty of people to talk to in the sport. I'm not too worried about it yet, but I'm going to start looking around, seeing who I want to talk to. Caitlin, do you have a joke or a quote?
I've got both. F. Scott Fitzgerald said, "For what it's worth, it's never too late to be whoever you want to be. I hope you live a life you're proud of, and if you find that you're not, I hope you have the strength to start over again." And my joke is, why were the Forks disappointed on Valentine's Day?
Because they just wanted a spoon?
Yeah, how did you know that?
Wow. Well, I think fork, and then I think what's related to a fork, spoon. I also could have, gone the way of it being, sexual with fork, because of what it sounds like.
Oh.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. Yeah. So I'm like, fork, spoon, spooning, Valentine's Day. That's how my mind works. Yeah, very cool. Good joke. Well, that just about wraps it up. I think the cats are fighting again.
Yep, I think so too.
My name's Michael Stefano.
And my name's Caitlin Ritter.
And we'll talk to you next weekend.
Bye!
Bye!
Thank you for listening.
If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to subscribe to our show and write us a review on your favorite podcast app.
You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook and connect with us there.
Most importantly, we would appreciate it if you shared an episode with a friend so we can reach more ears
and continue to effectively shine a light on the people in our sport, as well as the events that we are so passionate about.
Our intro song is Straight Curve by Straight Up, and our outro music is Iron Call by The Best.
So we'll start off with your name.
Your tech is so much better than ours.
Yeah, I know. What? What's this? I've been doing it for a little bit.
That's really cool.
5 stars. Mike and his team really go above and beyond with their live event coverage and interviews. Great quality, excellent...
Oh, he's stuck. Yeah, next time don't go in there, buddy. Love you, but Jesus. All right. Hair? Blood?
I don't know what. Buzz? A black fuzz out of Timber's mouth?
Is the door going upstairs shut?
Yeah.
Someone probably felt cornered.
Oh. You okay, boys?